Chief Minister. Our Chief Minister has gone into a state of a shell.
Use the hashtag Justice for Prabhu to engage with us. With that, it's time for India Upfront with our Editor-in-Chief, Rahul Shivshankar.
Thanks indeed, Pranesh. Thanks indeed, viewers. It's been one of those days where one has to ask oneself the most basic question. Is there no longer any value for human life in this country? Is there even less value for the sentiments of individuals who want to celebrate their own customs? Viewers, both these stories I will talk about tonight in two different halves of India and Upfront, but they're all connected in a certain way, and we'll talk about that. Viewers, like last night, I once again risk the anger, the ire of the ecosystem to bring you stories that are joined by a common thread. And that common thread or trait, I regret to inform you, viewers, is born out of an inexorable and unmistakable contempt for traditions associated with the Hindu faith. I am literally, viewers, literally, and I have to say this, sticking my neck out tonight, because the hate that I will receive, the threats that I will receive after this show, viewers, make it seem as if, viewers, this will be my last. But let not that get in the way. And let me tell you, this contempt for Hindu customs is heaped upon from all quarters. Let me give you an example. Diwali is policed by the courts on the account that it is polluting. Of course, no one talks about Eid in the same term, especially when goats are sacrificed and their blood collects in drains and on the streets. Jallikattu. Let's go to the 6 or 7 window. Jallikattu was also policed on grounds of cruelty, but not Eid, viewers. Bengal state government imposed restrictions on Durga idol immersions during Muharram. State governments control more than 40,000 temples, mostly in South India. But minority places of worship are more or less unregulated, left to do their own things. Now, viewers, increasingly we are seeing Hindu religious processions, congregations being targeted. The latest instance was from Palamu in Jharkhand. We brought you that story last evening. But as the ash settles in Palamu, Times Now's special investigation team embarked on a quest for the truth in an attempt to ascertain not only the facts, but who was also behind the attack. If you hear Asaduddin Owaisi, he hasn't even been to Palamu. No other channel, of course, has carried this story because they don't want to risk, viewers, the ire that I am prepared to risk. But he says it's the Hindus to blame. He's being fast and loose with the facts. Times Now's Tejshri discovered how a mosque was turned into a launchpad for the inexcusable intolerance. Remember these videos Times Now brought to you yesterday? They show active pelting from the rooftop of the mosque. Viewers, the target of the mobs were organizers of Mahashivratri festivities that were trying to put up a Toran or decorative arch. Tejshri and video journalist Ejaz managed to reach the rooftop only to discover piles of bricks, beer bottles and stones strewn all across. The telltale vestiges of a riot launchpad. Here's the report first.
Times Now is reporting from ground zero, and we are just at that mosque from where it's been said that the stone pelting had begun. And you can see that these are all the stones, the bricks that have all been scattered over here on the top of this particular area of the mosque. And what we are learning is that the group A, that in fact belongs to the Shivratri Puja committee group, they allegedly said that the stone pelting started from the mosque area, and that's why perhaps you can see these big bricks, the pieces of stones lying over here on the top floor of the mosque. Behind me, Ajaz is showing you the visuals. That is the mosque you can see, and we are reporting exclusively from ground zero, showing you that what might have been happened. Remember, there was a crowd of around 200 to 300 people who were perhaps present at this particular area. But you see here again, these are the glass bottles. You see, viewers, these are the glass bottles lying over here just above the area of the masjid where we are reporting from, and these are the small pieces of the glasses. See, these are the small pieces of the glasses which we are showing you exclusively just only on Times Now to get a sense. And that is the area of masjid. You can see over here that how the stone pelting might have started. Entire area, this entire terrace, in fact, from where you can see the stones, the small particles of the small pieces of the glass and the bottles as well. With Vijay Ajaz, this is Stage reporting for Times Now from Palamu.
Eyewitnesses confirm that pelting did indeed begin from the mosque. So this is corroboration. Listen in, viewers.
मिठाई की दुकान हम लोग नाश्ता पानी यहीं कर रहे थे। हाँ। तो हम लोग देखे कि उधर से आदमी दौड़ के आया।
कहाँ से आया?
वो मस्जिद चौक से दौड़ के आया।
दिखाइए आजाद जी, यहाँ से दौड़ कर आए।
हाँ, दौड़ करके आया इधर। तो हम पूछे क्या हुआ जी? तो ना हम लोग को मुसलमान नहीं गेट लगाने दे रहा है। तो हम लोग को मारो तो सबके लगा हुआ था चोट उठ, माथा उठा में फटा हुआ था। तो फिर इधर से फिर उधर से देखे पत्थर ऊपर से चला आया, और बहुत पत्थर चला।
ऊपर से कहाँ से आया पत्थर?
मस्जिद से पत्थर आया।
देखा अपने आंखों से?
देखा अपने आंख से देखा। हम यहाँ पर कम से कम 1.5 घंटा चला है। प्रशासन भी आई, प्रशासन को भी मार बजा, और पब्लिक के ऊपर से खाली पत्थर चल रहा था।
अच्छा, कितने लोग होंगे ऊपर मस्जिद के जो पत्थरबाजी कर रहे थे?
लोग तो बहुत कम नजर आ रहे थे, मैंने 2-4 आ रहे थे।
लोग डरे हुए थे जब यहाँ पर ये सारी चीजें हो रही थी। क्या कुछ माहौल था?
हाँ, ये सब करकट उड़कर पर पत्थर आ रहा था, आदमी बच के चल रहा था। इधर से एक भी वार नहीं हो रहा था।
यहाँ से वार नहीं हो रहा था।
चौक पर एक अचानक बोरा मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, डंटा उंटा निकाला उला, पूरा मारा पीटी का स्टार्टिंग होने वाला था। तो हम लोग अचानक शटर गिरा दिए, गेट बंद कर दिए। गेट बंद करने के बाद हम लोग छत्ता पर जब चढ़े तो देख रहे कि बहुत सारा भीड़, पूरा जुम कर पूरा लड़ाई पूरा दोनों तरफ से हो रहा है, ईटाबाजी होते होते फिर मेरा दुहारी तक पूरा भीड़ आ गया। अब मेरे दुहारी तक पर पूरा पत्थर फेंका गया।
यहाँ पर भी शटर पे पत्थर फेंके गए थे?
पत्थर फेंके गए, और पूरा हम लोग डर गए कि क्या होगा, कैसे क्या होगा। हम लोग तो रोने लगे घर के अंदर।
आपको ऐसा लग रहा था कि आपको टारगेट किया जा रहा है?
टारगेट किया जा रहा है। चावल नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था, फिर भी हम लोग कैसे अभी एक पुलिस के द्वारा चावल आटा मंगाए, आलू,
घर पे खाना भी नहीं था।
यहाँ का जो विधायक है उसको हम लोग फोन किए कि आकर कुछ मामला बढ़ने वाला है। ठीक है,
आपने फोन किया था उन्हें?
तो माहौल को शांत करने के लिए बुला रहे थे।
क्या बोले विधायक? यहाँ
बोले कि नहीं, कुछ बात नहीं बढ़ेगा, ये छोटा।
हम लोग यहाँ 40-45 साल से लगभग इस क्षेत्र में रह रहे हैं। बहुत ही डर के माहौल में हम लोग अभी रह रहे हैं, और रात भर हम लोग मैंने जग के सोए हैं, सोए ही नहीं है लगभग।
क्या बोले थे आप फोन करके उन्हें?
प्रमुख यही करीब 7:30 बजे के आसपास हमने जानकारी दिया, करीब 100 लड़का की भीड़ जमा हो गया है, से आप प्रशासन को तुरंत मदद कीजिए, तुरंत मदद लीजिए तुरंत। लेकिन जो है से वो बोले कि ठीक है। अब ये रात में बात हुई थी हम लोग के दोनों के बीच से, दोनों पक्ष से 5-5 लोग बैठेंगे, बैठने के बाद जो है से ये मामला को हम शांत करवा देंगे। ठीक है, तो इसी बीच कुछ
हिंसा से पहले आपने ये चीज बता दी थी उनको, फिर भी कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ?
नहीं लिया गया एक्शन। तो हमको सबसे ज्यादा भारी दुख की बात हो रही है कि प्रशासन के आने के बाद भी दोनों तरफ से करीब 1-1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा तक पथराव होते रहे।
Viewers, the JMM and Congress coalition government in Jharkhand, instead of providing security so that Hindus can practice their beliefs, has instead done the unthinkable, unimaginable. In Deoghar, which is believed to be the abode of Lord Shiva and the 12 Jyotirlinga, Section 144 has been imposed on Shivratri. Additional curbs have been placed on the Shiv ki Barat as well. What would compel the state to do such a thing? Bias, perhaps? One doesn't know, viewers. In Rajasthan, Kanhaiya Lal was cut down by the Sartan se juda obscurantists. The chief minister there blamed, viewers, the Hindu community. In Bengal, you had a situation where viewers, restrictions were imposed on Durga Puja processions so that Muharram could continue. Elsewhere in other states, Ram Navami processions came under deadly attack, even in the capital. In Palghar, 2 sadhus were lynched to death. In Delhi, Tahir Hussain confessed to police that he set up a rat factory to target Hindus. Even abroad, Hindus and symbols of Hinduism have been attacked from UK to Canada, Australia, and even Bangladesh. The attacks may vary, but the hate is consistent. What explains this? Same riot playbook, same hate. Let's open this up. It's a very serious issue. And I want to begin first with Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar. I want to ask you, Mr. Sridhar, look, I know that when we engage in such debates, the Lachans ecosystem will say, oh, we are bringing out scratching at old wounds. But this is easily contested. Because if that were the case, the BBC documentary should not have been screened at all in the first place or made. So let's not put the cart before the horse, viewers here. And Mr. Sridhar, I want to ask you, do you share this sense of Sanatan Dharma being under siege, or is it really a political machination by saffron parties to try and consolidate the Hindu vote bank? What is going on here?
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to all the viewers of Times Now channel. Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, the word Sanatana itself means eternal, timeless. So one thing that you, I, and everybody should be assured is Sanatana Dharma is eternal. That said, be it in the Balakandam of Srimad Ramayanam, be it in the Adi Parva of Sri Mahabharatam, the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam's first Parva, everywhere there is one particular incident which is described, which is Samudra Manthana, the churning of the ocean. Before all the wish-yielding cow, the wish-yielding tree and all of that comes out, the first thing that comes out during the churning of the ocean is halahalam or kalakutam, poison. And when everybody fears it, that is when Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, drinks it. Rigveda says, Keshi vishasya patrena rudrena pibatsaha. So very rightly this is happening around Shivaratri. I'm sure, let the poison and the poisonous thoughts and elements come out. I'm sure Lord Shiva will guide a beautiful way to this timeless civilization. That said, Rahul, one very quick comment. Every time we discuss this attack on temples, attack on processions, one thing that we need to remember is just not for Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, any religion based in our country or from the West. Every religion and its fundamentals should be made so flexible and amendable that as the time requires, there should be small changes made conducive to the society. If the religion makes itself very rigid, not flexible, and remains in that same time period in which it was founded, then it will become a big problem for just not the Indian society, for any society where it thrives. So, be it Sanatana Dharma, which I or you may follow, and other religions, we should work for a solution which is a long time. And
yes,
every time this procession is attacked, it causes so much of agony for the people who have participated. This is all I can say.
Well, you're right. Accommodation is the key. And an accommodationist outlook is needed. But some in this country do not want to change with the times, says Dushyant Sridhar. And I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. Can the onus only be on Hindus to ensure that the constitutional values of secularism are upheld in this country? Mr. Poonawalla, Nafrat ka Bazaar that Rahul refers to is here. You can see it in Palamu. But he doesn't talk about it. This is the one Nafrat ka Bazaar he will not refer to. And I'm not just talking about this Nafrat ka Bazaar. There are several others and I've referred to them and I've shown them to you. I don't know. Rahul Gandhi is headed to Cambridge, his alma mater, his alumnus, etc. Will he walk through those streets where Hindu homes were targeted recently outside of London? I'm not very familiar with the geography. And should he not?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. Namaskar to all your viewers, to Dushanji and to my fellow panelists. First of all, kudos to Tejashree and Ejaz. Fantastic reporting like always. And times now you've led in the front to bring out the truth. There are two issues here. I would just like to break them up. One, in your opening remarks, you spoke about the attacks that our Hindu fellow citizens are under, whether in India or abroad. And the question is that since 2014, why has this, as you rightly refer to, Nafrat ki dukaan or Nafrat ka bazaar spread? Who benefits from this hate? And to that extent, I can only think of one political party that seems to be gaining from this hate and is whipping up this hate in state after state. Or then we have the most incompetent home minister in the country who knows that this pattern, as you referred to in your opening remarks, is happening across the country. Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, etc. And still at a national level can do nothing, not even call a meeting of DGPs to ensure that this pattern cannot happen. So either he's benefiting from it or he's incompetent. The pick I leave to the BJP. Point number two. We speak about a number of things, including opening up temples, Hindu temples, freeing Hindu temples, something Ishkaran is advocating for. Who's in power? Is it us, the ecosystem? Is the Narendra Modi government? The same Narendra Modi government. You said that Rahul Gandhi is going to England. He is going to England. You asked that should he go to Hindu homes that were attacked? I think he should. But I'll ask you, I was with you on Times Now in this very chair and you were sitting here, and it took 3 days for the Indian ambassador in England to react until you, Rahul, kept breaking the stories and asking the Indian government to wake up and smell the coffee. The British police had tweeted a fake news. You had to expose the British police. It's not your job. It's not my job. It's not the ecosystem's job. This government has failed. So the question is that this hatred that has taken place in our country, and who's come in this hatred to pour oil in this fire? Asaduddin Owaisi, the B team of the BJP. Any riot anywhere in the country, two elements you'll find: BJP and Owaisi. Why? Who's benefiting? And therefore, Rahul, if I'm on your show today not discussing the economy or not discussing why temples are not being opening up, the failure or the benefit is of the current BJP government, which I think now is time to go.
Mr. Poonawalla, law and order is a state subject.
It is, sir.
When, and at the slightest pretext, if the center orders CRPF or central forces to go into a state on the back of even a pogrom, as we saw after the elections in Bengal, hue and cry erupts about the murder of the federal system.
Yes.
Right? So let's not go there.
But
That's 1 second. No, 1 second. I'm just bringing the facts. No, I'm just putting out the facts in a very calm way. No, 1 minute.
SOPs,
I want to come out to this point that you just made. Your government, it's your government, the Congress and JMM in the state of Jharkhand, instead of shutting down this Nafrat ka bazaar, literally is a bazaar really, what are you doing? You are putting restrictions in Deoghar, which happens to be the seat really, one of the places where the Jyotirling is. Shivratri is almost synonymous with this place. And you have put restrictions on the Hindus instead of giving them security. And you want Amit Shah to come there and do what? Blow his CT in the chalk. Your chief minister has not even visited. Have you seen the scale of this violence? Rahul Gandhi has not even tweeted, and he talks about मोहब्बत की दुकान खोल रहा हूँ, नफरत की बाजार बंद कर रहा हूँ. यहाँ तो नफरत का बाजार सर खुला हुआ है.
First of all,
where is the Congress?
First of all, I don't expect Amit Shah to blow any city because the most honorable Home Minister
was
incompetent in Delhi where two riots happened under his nose.
Gehlot said this in Rajasthan. He said,
riots happened
Modi and Shah are responsible
in Delhi.
For the...
They are. The BJP. Who is the Supreme Court pulling up? Is it pulling up people from the Congress? Is it pulling up people from Hindus or minorities? No, it's pulling up people associated with the BJP. They are the ones spreading the hate wire. They are the ones who are creating hate speech in this country. The Supreme Court.
No, which people? Which people are associated?
The people.
No, how are you saying they're associated
with the people who are associated?
Who are the people
in creating this environment of hate?
Who
are getting protection by the government?
Name these people.
You know the people
No,
who
I
have
don't know. Name-
who have Sansads in Jantar Mantar calling for the country secularism to be thrown out.
Who?
They haven't been arrested.
Who there?
Members
Who?
of the
One minute,
BJP
one
in
minute,
Jantar
one
Mantar.
minute, one minute.
Members of the BJP in
Who?
Jantar Mantar.
Name the person.
I will not name people.
Name the
You know
person.
it very well.
I don't know
At
the names.
Jantar
I
Mantar,
don't-
they had that the
you see,
constitution be thrown
viewers-
out, secularism be thrown out, the
viewers-
country be converted
anyone
into a
on the
religious-
fringe, anyone on the fringe.
He's a
Now,
BJP member.
One second. Anyone on the fringe, on the Hindu right, and there are some lunatics.
Members of the BJP.
One second, no, are easily conflated with members of the BJP. But one second,
Card-holding member of the BJP.
Let me finish. And Asaduddin Owaisi, who's a mainstream MP, with whose party allies of the Congress have had electoral understandings, is also, viewers, the B team of the BJP. The Aam Aadmi Party is also the B team of the BJP. The BJP must be a franchisee.
It is.
No, it
a franchisee
isn't.
of
And
hate.
that is- and that is- and
Owaisis'
this is
brother was
exactly
thrown
what
in
I'm
jail
saying.
by the Congress for spreading hate.
Canards-
And therefore he's helping the
I asked you a
BJP.
very simple
Owaisi
question.
is the B team of the BJP.
Tehseen
His
Saab, I
brother
asked
was
you a very
thrown in
simple
jail
question.
for spreading hate against Hindu
Mr.
gods and goddesses.
Mr.
Therefore
Tehseen-
he's helping the BJP.
Mr. Tehseen Purana, it's
Is
a very
Amit Shah
simple-
incompetent to act against Owaisi?
No, hang on. You had Masood, that MLA, Mr. Masood, Imran Masood.
He's in SP now.
He was in SP now, but he was very much part and parcel of your party. Was
And
he
he
also?
went to jail.
Was he also? Was
And
he
he went
also?
to
Hang
jail.
on. Was he also BJP agent? Anyhow, 1 minute. I just want to come back. There was another cleric called Tauqir Raza. Priyanka Gandhi shared the stage with him. Viewers, he said the most vile things. Was he also a Congress B team member? Must have been, if he shook hands with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Anyhow, I asked the question, and look how it was not answered. The question was, law and order is a state subject. Instead of penalizing those that led this, your mindset, the Congress and Jharkhand government's mindset penalizes the victims. Their freedom to pursue their beliefs have been proscribed. In the seat where Lord Shiva takes the form, his worshipable form. Mr. Poonawalla, if that is not deep-seated bias, what is?
May I answer that?
Yeah, please.
Mahashivratri in Jharkhand will be celebrated with pomp and with fanfare.
Under curfew?
It's only
It is
temporary.
under curfew.
No, it's only temporary.
No, sir, it is right up till Saturday.
But they are easing the restrictions.
They're not easing. Who told you they're
they
easing?
are going to
Who? Someone picked up the
check
phone
it
and
tomorrow.
called you. Karan,
Report it
Karan
tomorrow.
Verma wants
Please
to come
report
in.
it tomorrow.
Karan Verma, can you explain to Tehseen Poonawalla how, whether it is DMK government where the Congress was in power, or the Aghadi government where the Congress was supporting the Shiv Sena, or in Jharkhand where the Congress is supporting, and let me be very honest, the JMM, and in Bengal where the Congress was in alliance with the left, they paraded hate mongers. Can you remind him? And what does that tell us?
Right. You know, Rahul, see, the Congress has always partnered with all of these people. And he's talking about AIMIM. The Congress was in bed with AIMIM as well. They've been in bed with IUML, Indian Union Muslim League, with ISL, Indian Secular League, with AUDF. I mean, every single rabble-rouser, every single communal rabble-rouser, and the Congress is there. It was the Congress government in alliance in Tamil Nadu in 2012 when in Perambur district, Koltar village, 70% of the population had become Muslim, and an affidavit was passed that no processions, no idol worship would be allowed. No less than the Madras High Court had to intervene and reprimand them that how can you allow this in a secular country like ours? The truth is, Rahul, Sanatan has always been targeted and will be targeted. And you started the show with this question, why is Sanatan targeted? I'll tell you why it's targeted. Because it is the only thing standing in the way of complete Abrahamization. Right from Leicester to Melbourne to India, everywhere. They understand that only Sanatan can actually give power to people, can allow different schools of thoughts. It has room for homosexuals, it has room for believers, non-believers. Otherwise, you have to subscribe to a book, a prophet, a doctrine. These Maulvis, these churches, these Catholics, they want to control us. The fact is, Sanatan has been under attack, and it will be until and unless we have someone who has the power and the temerity like a Yogi Adityanath had in UP. I am talking about solutions. Last year, Rahul,
we'll come to
around
the
this time,
solutions.
Hemant Soren
No, hang on, Karan Verma, we'll come
in
to
the
the
face of
solutions.
the writers
We'll talk
when
about
we
the
heard
solutions. That's for another
camp
time.
in June
But you
2022.
identified this.
The
You
same
identified
time,
this.
Yogi Adityanath
One second,
clearly
just one
said,
second,
we
just
will
one second. Karan
implement
Verma,
the
lower his
Gangster
fader.
Act.
One second. I just want to step in here. We'll look at the solutions at another time. Let's not speak over each other, Karan bhai. We'll look at the solutions at another time. I am first more about getting people to identify the source of the problem. People like Majid Hydari will smirk and smile. They don't care. There is so much suspicion today in the valley of ordinary Hindus that they are targeted, and when there is a delimitation exercise which is legitimized by the courts, they are saying that the demography of Kashmir will be changed to allow for people as if they own every square inch of Kashmir. All Indians own Kashmir. Ishkaran Bhandari, how do you respond to what people like Tehseen Poonawala say tonight?
Firstly, I think Tehseen is speaking come today, where he says all this nafrat came after 2014 when BJP came to power. I will not even talk about 1984 riots. Bhagalpur, Congress government, 1,000 people killed, late 1980s. That was love being distributed on the streets of Bihar. And BJP was a 2 MP party and neither in the state. So let us first have a fact check of when the violence is occurring and from when the violence is going on. Let us not get everything into BJP. Now let us come to this issue. You have talked about Sanatan Dharam and how the religious processions are being attacked. And yes, there is a long list of it. Whether it be Jahangirpuri in Delhi last year, or Roorkee, Uttarakhand, or Andhra Pradesh, or Jharkhand last year, April, or Karoli in Rajasthan, the list is shamefully long. And I don't have the time to speak here. But also there is a greater danger. Not only religious processions, but also cultural and societal. Everything is under attack. If it is Diwali, it suddenly becomes pollution is the main topic, main problem, and Hindu जो पटाखे जलाता है उसके लिए responsible है. Today, as you check the pollution level in Delhi, it is hazardous. But we have no discussion on pollution. If it comes to Holi, because a Hindu celebrates Holi, it becomes a thing in which eve teasing is done, so it must not be done. If it is Dahi Handi, it is too high, so it should be regulated into extinction. If it is Jali Kattu, then it is a cruelty to animal. People eating beef burgers happily say, please don't do it. And had karo. Raksha Bandhan pe, I was stunned. 2 years ago, Raksha Bandhan पे शुरू हो गया कि पेट्रियार्की है, महिलाओं को कमजोर दिखाता है. They don't understand it. So be it religious procession, be it a cultural, be it a societal event, everything is under attack, but they will fail miserably. We are the oldest continuous civilization and we will continue to flourish.
Majid Hydari, let me bring you in since you're nodding your head. I just want to ask you a very simple question. And this is a straightforward one. In 1990, where was Asaduddin Owaisi stirring the flames, the B team, so-called B team of the BJP? Where was the RSS stoking the embers in your state for bigots there to attack Hindus? And let me also ask you, when they return to their own homes, why are they being exterminated one by one in targeted attacks? And why, if you believe that the majority must always stand up for the minority, why isn't Majid Hydari and others standing up and saying that the Burhan Wanis are traitors to our cause, which is the cause of universalism and brotherhood?
Well, yes, certainly, Rahul Sahab, the first things first. Let's not make a Sanatan Dharma the bone of contention.
No.
For me, it's about Astha.
No, one second, Majid Hydari. Majid Hydari, don't say that. Don't say that. It is because the people who were driven out, no, excuse me, please, sir, please allow me. That's why I asked you this question. I'm not a fool sitting here. So I'm asking you, Majid Hydari Saab, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but answer my question and don't try to take a diversionary path. I'm asking you a simple question. Their faith was the reason why they were hounded, why they are being hounded, even now in Kashmir. Why, sir? Why? And why are the people who are doing it, pulling the trigger, then and now, being called sons of soil by leading politicians, Muslim politicians in the valley? Why?
Sir, give me 15 seconds for clarification and then I'll respond to
you
your
take
question.
pride in bigotry.
My humble point is, first, my
do you want
humble
sons
point
who are
is
bigots?
Sanatan Dharma is about... No, sir, I'm coming to oneness.
Don't give me a lecture on Sanatan Dharma, sir. You are not qualified. I want you to answer. You said don't bring in Sanatan Dharma. I said why not?
Sir,
why were the Hindus? Why were the Hindus kicked out?
Sir, firstly, let's talk about Sanatan.
Why are they being killed today? No, you talk about the question that I've asked you, sir. Talk about the question.
Do you have a patent on Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma is the Sanskrit word for Islam. And I believe in Sanatan Dharma. I am a Sanatan Dharmi Muslim. So I am talking about oneness. Our community is talking about oneness. We say Allah and Om are one. So we are not into creating wedge. So what has happened in Jharkhand is not essentially because of our community and even not because of the good Hindus. Because rightly said by your colleague Meghna earlier in the day that Hindus won't...
Then can I ask you a question? If Allah and Om are one, excuse me, if Allah and Om are one, let me ask you this question, Majid Bhai. Om has a physical shape. It can be drawn. But it's not true of the other.
Sir, Om is a symbol like we have symbol, we write Allah in Arabic. So what is your problem with that? If we are talking about oneness,
Dushyant,
we talk about oneness.
Dushyant Sridhar will respond. Viewers, look at this. Then why should you have a problem? Why should you have a problem, Majid Haidari, for telling me in no uncertain terms that Hindus were targeted regretfully for their religion in Srinagar, and the people who did so, the Burhan Wani and their clansmen in the past and of the past, were actually butchers, they were bigots and not sons of the soil. You should be disowning them.
Let me speak the truth. The Hindus were, the Kashmiri Pandits were targeted and they continue to get targeted because BJP government has been unable to safeguard their life, their
There you go.
property,
Was the BJP government, hang on, was the BJP government ruling Srinagar, sir, when in the build-up to even 1990 through the 80s, these Hindus were being killed one by one?
30 years of...
Listen, don't sit here and try to justify... Don't sit here and justify bigotry, sir. Have the guts. If you call yourself a humanist and a Sanatani, etc., have the guts. And forget the guts even. Have the decency to empathize.
So these 30 years, BJP
and speak up against hate.
More than 15 years.
No, let me bring in Mr. Sridhar. Mr. Sridhar, would you like to respond to Mr. Haidari tonight, who is once again trying to rationalize bigotry, communalism?
BJP is gaining out of it. BJP is gaining out of the targeted killing of Kashmiri Pandits. BJP is gaining out of every pain.
Okay.
BJP is trying to highlight it
Rahul,
for its own electoral motives. And that is the reality.
Right.
How are we Pasmanda Muslims trying to get benefit?
Rahul, I've heard.
Please let us speak. Even Prime Minister says Pasmanda Muslim ko baat karne ka mauka do. So let me speak. Where are we to be blamed? It is the likes of Anil Ramdas Boytre. So have you told your viewers who Anil Ramdas Boytre is? He is the man who threatened to blast the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi site, and he has been arrested by UP police, but no debate on him because he is from a different community and no UAPA case, no NIA, no area against this man. So this is how you are victimizing us. This is wrong, sir. Let the Pasmanda Muslim get their right. Even Prime Minister is saying so. Please seek oneness. We are talking about Ek Nishan, Ek Vidhan, Ek Pradhan, Ek Allah, Ek Om. So try for oneness. Don't divide the community, please. Thank you.
Mr. Haidari, when we talk about these pogroms that you are seeing on a limited scale, viewers, especially those that take place around Hindu festivals, or when you talk about pogroms, one second, just one second, please don't interrupt, please. When you talk about pogroms that happened in Srinagar, then viewers, it is about causing pain and victimizing Muslims. When they talk about Gujarat, then it is about justice. How does this work? Dushyant Sridhar, how does this work? What is this that we are witnessing? Mr. Poonawalla?
Rahul, can I answer?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Sridhar.
Rahul,
Yeah.
very quickly 2 points. One, I've heard my panelists very, very patiently. One, for debates such as this, to get those 10 seconds of fame, it may work. But statements such as Pranava Om and Allah being one lacks academic acumen. So the thinking that all religions should live harmoniously in a society is very well appreciated. We have our own differences. I'm not here to highlight the differences, but it's rather better to say we have our differences, yet we can live happily in a society, rather than saying Om and Allah are the same. One, that absolutely lacks political acumen. I've spoken in your channel on this many times. Probably the panelists can listen to it from an academic angle. One. And second thing, there was Shri Tehseen ji who said that such processions are being targeted, and probably there's news about all this in the last 8 to 9 years. I would like to remind Shri Tehseen ji, who must be aware of the history, in the south of India in the 1960s and 70s, there were processions that were very jingoistic about breaking Rama's idols, having a chappal mala around him, calling Sita names, breaking Ganesha's idols, threatening to bomb the Chidambaram and the Srirangam temple. So these processions have happened in the 1960s and 70s. Just that WhatsApp wasn't there. There was no social media. People had to cry in their own small closets. And now it's coming to the light.
Well, no, 1 second. And I just want to quickly fact check you also on this Dharam Sansad business that you were talking about. The Supreme Court was responding to a petition filed by Tushar Gandhi about the Dharam Sansad specifically. Now, viewers, let me also tell you, when things like this take place, and there is obvious hate, there is a MP from the MIN, and I will never stop naming that MP. He may come after me, but I'll never stop. You can take me privilege, etc., etc. But he said, hang Nupur Sharma from a particular intersection in Aurangabad. Hang her. He's a member of parliament, viewers. When these crimes take place, no one goes to the courts. This is inciting hate against a person. No one goes to the courts. Even the act of going to the courts in this country is selective, viewers.
Not true.
Absolutely true.
Not true.
And I'll bring in Ishkaran on this point. I think Ravi Srivastava, we haven't gone to him. I need to bring him into also. Yes, very quickly, Ishkaran Bhandari. Selectiveness down to the issue that you are raising in court.
Rahul, there is selectiveness, and also because Om is the same as everything else, I hope people here are in favor of Kashi Vishwanath Mandir and Ram Janambhoomi Mandir and Krishna Janambhoomi Mandir, because suddenly we are having a very interesting debate. So I hope Majid ji will be very much in favor of all this, because everything is one.
Okay, 1 second. No, I want to bring in Ravi Srivastava ji. On the Gujarat riots of 2002, sir, many people went to court. On a genocide in Kashmir, not one person went to court. Why? Ravi Srivastava sahab? Why, and what does that tell you?
See, what was the political situation that time? I mean, that is to be considered, that why it happened, why it did not happen.
Yeah, of course. Political situation, he says.
As far as today's case is concerned, which we have been debating, the Palamu needs a thorough investigation. It's all BJP's toolkit. I repeat, it's a toolkit which is used in every profession like this. A route will be decided which will not be followed. The swords will be carried. The slogans will be raised. Provocative slogans will be raised.
There was nothing like this. Ravi Srivastava, don't spread lies. This is an open and shut case. It's an open and shut case, and let me play out. Let me play out the reaction of the police officer in charge. I don't listen to your. Your fake propaganda, sir, is not going to work. It's not going to work here. Hang on. Just 1 second. Silence, please. Silence. Silence. Raviji, silence. You're not going to get away by spewing fakery. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't always suit you, sir. And therefore, when it doesn't suit you, you resort to malicious lies. And you know what you're doing? No, Raviji, you know what you're doing? You are spawning more hate. I won't allow you to speak. if you're going to spawn hate, everyone else has been reasonable. They might be in denial, fair enough, but they have not provoked on this show. And I will not allow Ravi Srivastava to suggest, mangle the facts to create a sense of alienation in innocent minds. That is an act, viewers, of illegality. This is the problem. You talk about an attack on Hindus, they will turn it around and say it's a conspiracy. You talk about Gujarat, and they will say that this is about India's secular credentials, its democracy, the essence of what it sees itself as in the mirror. Viewers, enough of this. Sanatan is under siege, and people need to first acknowledge this and then address it. You can tweet to us using that hashtag. I'd like to hear from you. I want to move on because there's another very pressing issue, viewers. And I told you, I'm talking about people at the end of the day, not news, people at the heart of stories that need justice, whether it's Palamu's victims or, viewers, an individual, a brave heart, an army man serving this country, ready to sacrifice his life, who has, viewers, been killed by VIP arrogance. And let me tell you, viewers, that 24 to 36 hours have passed, and the DMK, 47, I'm told, 47 hours have passed to be exact. And viewers, I'm told that this individual who committed this dastardly act eliminated the life of an individual who serves this nation has not been sacked by the DMK. In fact, the DMK brushes off this entire issue, saying it's a petty incident and the Chief Minister can't be reacting to all things. Neither has the Chief Minister reacted, neither has the Congress that supports the DMK come out and called for the sacking of this DMK Neta, this councillor Chinnasamy. And viewers, neither has anyone from civil society taken up cudgels beyond, viewers, army veterans and of course the family members of this young braveheart, this young patriot, this person who came from modest means. I want to open this up, and I want to first go across to Meghna Girish, mother of martyr Major Akshay Girish. Ma'am, this young man who was butchered by VIP arrogance, does he deserve the contempt that is being heaped upon him? I want to ask you, when young men sign up to serve this country, what is the expectation they have from society and the state?
Rahul, when young men sign up to protect the country, it is the duty of the country to protect their families and to ensure that no harm comes to them while they are within their own country, within their own homes, within their own spaces. And what do we see here? Lance Naik Prabhu, who has, put in about 10 years of service, he's been posted in all kind of conflict zones. There he was armed, he defended our country, he protected our people, and I don't know in how many other cases of earthquake or floods or disaster relief or what may you, he has protected our people. And here, while he's home on leave with his family, unarmed, you have goons, some of them connected to political parties who are supposed to serve their people, and here he's been lynched to death. Now you tell me that as the family of a soldier, what is a family supposed to feel?
Let me put that to the Congress MLA. The Congress party, of course, supports the DMK at the state. Hassan Maulana Saab is here again with us for the second straight day. Hassan Maulana Saab, do you believe that the DMK has been callous in not taking action by sacking the lyncher of Lance Naik Prabhu? and the intimidator of his family. Simple.
I told you very clearly yesterday itself. This is a fight between two families. This is not a fight between any. Your military man at home is a husband or a brother or whatever he is at home. He is at home. He doesn't carry the tag of military dress inside the house. So do you hear it clearly? And this councillor of DMK at home is just a councillor of DMK. He's just a human being of his family who is a father, who is a son, or who, whatever he is. And where comes DMK military in this issue? When the local water tank issue comes up, two families fight up for the water, and you say that DMK has to take action. What is this? I don't understand. And you take up a debate on a national level for a.
You wanted to respond. He doesn't understand why a mass. Hang on. He doesn't understand why the mass of humanity in India today is outraged because a neta from a political party took a life, took a life of a person who serves this country, sacrifices this country. Sacrifices for this country. One second, he doesn't understand it. So General Bakshi, can you explain to this contemptuous Hassan Maulana Sahab what he should be understanding and why his party is creating the conditions for the DMK
There is no malified intention.
No malified intention. A person is murdered with a weapon.
There is no malified intention. Somebody.
No
malified intention.
General Bakshi. General Bakshi.
And you call it a national issue.
Fight between two houses.
Take action against.
Can I, sir? Can I now have the courtesy of being heard? Can I have the courtesy of being heard?
Basically, Rahul.
Or will you monopolize this discussion? Look, the simple fact is.
Because.
Oh, sir, I would like to explain to you certain things. All right? Understand something.
This is not a political issue. This is a local issue between two houses.
Rahul, this gentleman will go on and on because he thinks he has a divine right to speak over everybody.
He's arrogant.
How can you take it so
I would request that his leader be put down. He is arrogant beyond.
Can you keep quiet and let General Bakshi speak? You have made a long-winded point and been. Let him speak. Let him speak.
No. Yeah. Please let him speak. Let him speak. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the courtesy. Rahul, there is something called a civil military covenant in all democratic societies. This was enunciated by Samuel Huntington. He says a soldier goes to fight on the battlefield. He risks his life and limb. In return, the society tells him, don't look over your shoulder, boy. We will take care of your family. We will protect your family. You don't have to look back. Go and do your duty. If you have to get killed, get killed. If you have to have your limbs blasted, let them get blasted. And he does it. He goes wherever he is sent by land, sea or air. For what? That when he comes home, he will be attacked by a bunch of goons led by a political apparatchik. And then his compatriots will tell you, this is a minor issue. A soldier got killed. I mean, चूहा मर गया, बिल्ली मर गई, कुत्ता मर गया. What are you trying to tell us? Is that the value of a citizen's life? And this is not just any citizen. It is a citizen who wears a uniform to protect the likes of you. I feel sorry for those boys who have to protect you, who have to keep you safe in your home. Who is serving in Siachen? Who is serving in Ladakh? Who is serving in Kargil? Who is bearing the heat in Rajasthan? Our boys. For whom? For the likes of you? Rahul, what is becoming increasingly not just a matter of concern, but for sheer alarm, is the level of arrogance and the sense of entitlement of state level apparatchiks.
Yeah.
I mean, they are low forms of life. You see, and what they arrogate to themselves is the right to kill, the right to rape, the right to throw a woman from the 13th story of a building, high-rise apartment.
Shame. Shame.
I think it's about time that we call a halt and we tell you that we elect you, my friend. You don't have to be arrogant. And look at the chutzpah. Look at this gentleman saying that it's a small matter. A soldier got killed, so what? So what? It is a damn outrage. It is a disgrace. And Rahul, I have yet to hear the Chief Minister of the state show any sense of contrition, give an apology, give at least a word of condolence to the bereaved family. It's a small matter. The death of an Indian is a small matter. And the death of an Indian soldier, it doesn't matter. My friend, the politician, it doesn't, you don't give a damn. We do. And we will make you realize that you better give a damn. Because this is not Haiti. Alright? This is not Haiti. This is not a banana republic.
Let me
this
tell
is
you.
the world's largest democracy.
General
we
Bakshi.
elect you, old chap.
No,
we
one
elect
second.
you. And you take
No,
that
one second.
smug smirk off your
Another entitled person wants to cut you off, General Bakshi. Rama Subramanian can't bear to hear what you have to say. Your lament is for him insufferable. Now, 1 minute. Viewers, at times like this, one feels sometimes. I know I'm sounding a bit irrational because I have been moved by this story. It's a shocking story of entitlement, racism, VVIP racism, viewers. That all these elected netas, when they get elected, should serve 1 year. There should be some sort of a compulsory conscription for them. Send them out there. बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं कि ये पिट गया वहाँ पर, हमारी फौज इधर पिट गई. Let them serve for 1 year in Siachen. Let them feel it a little bit. फिर देखेंगे कौन पिटता है कौन नहीं पिटता है. Now I want to ask you, Rama Subramanian, should this person be sacked by the DMK forthwith? Yes or no? Just answer that question.
Yes, I don't mince words at all. Yes, the man has to be removed from the party. There is no doubt about it. Second point I want to make a mention here is my heartfelt condolences to the soldiers' family. Having said all this, I think I hope all of us, when the panelists would have heard the interview by the SP of Krishnagiri, he made it absolutely very clear. This started as a very trivial match between two persons. It was a quarrel, and later on it became a big fight between these two people, and ultimately the soldier was done to death. The soldier also appeared to have used some abusive language against the other person who murdered the soldier. The family, both the families are related
Rama
to each other. So there is no premeditated.
10 people
the
show
murder
up.
is not
10 people
premeditated.
show
That
up
is what
to beat
exactly
you
I
up.
would like to mention upon.
Excuse me, Rama Subramaniam, and I want to bring in Uma Anandan here of the BJP. 10 people, 10 thugs actually, not people, show up to beat you to pulp. And if you respond to this, you are the aggravator. This is absurd logic.
No. I'm not saying a word.
Let me respond to you, sir.
against-
Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I think it's absurd. Maybe she doesn't. Let the BJP councillor respond to you. Uma Anandan.
First thing, Rahul, I think this is like an issue where there are no two sides for the coin at all. There is only one side. For you to invite people like these to panel is a grave insult. You're contaminating the entire, already we have enough virus. Second, the DMK and Congress, everybody, even a small speck of dust with a party post will act like this. And he being in the Indian Army is an additional qualification for them to do things like this. They have no respect at all for nation. If he protects the nation, he has to be thrashed. That by itself is another reason. Second, I would like to say, you're all telling, why is the CM quiet? Why is the CM quiet? The CM is always quiet on these issues. He only opens his mouth when he wants to attack the Muslim, when he wants to attack the Hindus, when he wants to attack the central government. These are all the genes in the Dravidian stock.
Well, one second. Let's not get into Dravidian, etc. Here, I'm not going to suffer for that. 1 minute, please. 1 second. I just want to make one point. Umaji, 1 minute, please. Let's not, in your fervor to make a point, let's not take pot shots at other communities. That's not where we want to go with this debate. We want accountability affixed. Meghna Girish made a very important point tonight, viewers. General Bakshi explained that point also very well. The fact of the matter here and now is apathy. A killing takes place, a travesty takes place, and it is being repeated. Because this individual, this councillor, is getting full support of his political party. He will be represented, he will get a wide berth. The police will falter by saying, oh, well, he got provoked and in a sudden fit of madness, he did what he did. That is not what we expect. When the scales are so obviously tilted against the Lance Naik, the DMK must distance itself by sacking this councillor Chinnaswamy at the least. And Stalin, the chief minister, must visit the family of the deceased immediately. Should happen. I'll leave it to this.
mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट, वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आरामदेह। आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है, काफी ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफी ब्रॉड है, तो वहां पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा अपराइट बैठूं तो यहाँ पर ये मेरा सर टच कर रहा है, बट अगेन आई एम नॉट एवरेज इंडियन हाइट, थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा लंबा हूँ। तो ओवरऑल स्पेशियस, कंफर्टेबल मुझे लग रही है 2 लोगों के लिए खास तौर पर, और वैसे 3 लोगों की भी जगह है, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है बैकरेस्ट, वहां पर आपको आर्मरेस्ट मिलेगा, यहाँ पर फोन वगैरह या टैबलेट वगैरह रखने की जगह है, और प्लस 2 कप होल्डर्स आपको यहाँ पर, या बॉटल होल्डर्स आई गेस कप होल्डर्स, वो आपको देखने को यहाँ मिल रहे हैं। ओवरऑल जो फील है वो काफी सॉलिड है, जो फिनिश है काफी प्रीमियम है, जो क्वालिटी है वो काफी प्रीमियम आपको देखने को मिल रहा है। और यहाँ पर एसी वेंट अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ 3 जोन क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल आप समझ सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर अलग से आप अपने पैसेंजर सीट के लिए, रेयर सीट के लिए अलग टेम्परेचर जोन आप यहाँ सेट कर सकते हैं, वो कंट्रोल दिया गया है। साथ में 2 सी टाइप के पोर्ट्स भी आपको देखने को मिल रहे हैं। सो फीचर के हिसाब से, आराम के हिसाब से, स्पेस के हिसाब से सेकेंड रो is very practical, and I think this is the USP of this car. Gandhi Samo reporting from the first row of or driver seat of BMW 3GL. और यहाँ सबसे पहली चीज जिसके बारे में बात करना चाहूंगा वो है ये पूरा स्क्रीन का सेटअप। जो शेप है उसका हल्का सा कर्व्ड आपको ड्राइवर साइड की तरफ या ड्राइवर सेंट्रिक थोड़ा सा ये ज्यादा लग रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, बट या यू फील कि हाँ आपकी तरफ ये मुड़ा हुआ है। सो
Stories on the show tonight, viewers.
Voting for the 60 assembly seats ends in the state of Tripura. Voter turnout in the Tripura assembly poll stands at 80.11%. Chief Minister Manik Saha expects a comfortable second term with full majority in the state. In an exclusive conversation with Times Now, Tripura Chief Pradyot Debarman said his party will defeat BJP and come to power in the state. Violence breaks out during the elections as goons attack CPI supporters in Tripura's Kalachera.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who is founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं। सो इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है।
शुरू हो जाएंगी। सो एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है। इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है। सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ? हाउ
So when we in 2019 when we were starting out, we spoke to a lot of consumers कि electric bike क्यों नहीं खरीदते। In 2019 there were only a handful of players who were giving motorcycles as a product, and what we realized is that motorcycling is emotion driven. You name your bike, you work with it, you control it, you become one with your bike, and from there the common theme came, control नहीं मिल रहा, feel नहीं आ रही, right? Obviously once we started translating कि हमें क्या सुनाई दे रहा है और कस्टमर को क्या चाहिए, and we've spoken to over 500 customers on this. Clear indication, gear तो चाहिए, and that's when we said कि let's make something that the consumers truly want. ऐसा नहीं कि जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उसी को वापस पैकेज करके दे देते हैं, let's make it. तो वहाँ से when the journey started, we had to make our own motors, we had to make the gearboxes, the batteries, the electronics, the entire vehicle from scratch.
And nobody would have, I believe nobody would have.
Good evening, ladies and and gentlemen, from north to south, there is a clear pattern emerging which many of you will agree with, and that is hate for Hindu festivals, especially in opposition-ruled states. The blockade and restrictions just won't end, be it the Soren Sarkar in Jharkhand or Pinari Vijayan-ruled Kerala. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the region of Palamu witnessed heavy clashes as the devotees were preparing for Mahashivratri celebrations. Stone pelting, arson, violence rocked the area after a Toran Dwar was built for the Shivratri procession. The administration was quick to impose Section 144 and ban internet services in the area, and maybe rightly so. The ripple effect of the Palamu clashes was seen in another region called Devghar, which is known for its Shivratri celebrations. The state government imposed restrictions for the Shiv Barat even in this area, which is slated to be carried out on February 18th. This annual ritual in the region has been celebrated since the British era. The BJP says it's a blatant attempt to mock Hindu Astha. Listen in to BJP's MP Nishikant Dubey.
हिंदू विरोधी मानसिकता है वो देवघर में दिखाई दे रहा है। देवघर में मुख्यमंत्री शिव बारात नहीं निकालने देना चाह रहे हैं, जबकि ये शिव की नगरी है। देवघर यदि शिव हैं तभी देवघर है, और इसके खिलाफ जो है मैंने माननीय उच्च न्यायालय का दरवाज़ा खटखटाया है, और कल माननीय उच्च न्यायालय का जो भी फैसला आएगा, उम्मीद है कि कुछ आना चाहिए, उसके हिसाब से फिर हम आगे कैसे शिव बारात निकलेगा उसके बारे में शिव बारात कमेटी के साथ बातचीत करके हम निर्णय लेंगे। ये हिंदू विरोधी मानसिकता है ना। यदि देवघर में शिव बारात नहीं निकलेगा तो क्या निकलेगा? नया रूट वो है कि चूंकि वो रेलवे के क्रॉसिंग के कारण जो है हम ज़्यादा दूर नहीं जा सकते थे, अब फ्लाईओवर बन गया है, तो हम उसको चौड़े रोड में ले जाना चाहते हैं, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को दिखाना चाहते हैं। जब हमको नहीं प्रॉब्लम, कलाकारों को नहीं प्रॉब्लम, यहाँ के समाज को नहीं प्रॉब्लम, तो प्रशासन को क्या प्रॉब्लम?
Now let's cut to the south of India, Kerala, where the left Sarkar's police directed temple authorities in Thiruvananthapuram to take down saffron decorations put up for the Bhadrakali temple festival. The police believe that saffron decorations might just foment unrest, leading to a law and order situation in the area. But the ecosystem that is quick to peddle Islamophobia theory is back with another spin. This time it blames Sanghi plot for what's happening in Jharkhand. Listen in.
उसके बाद सरकार सो रही थी और ये संघ स्पॉन्सर्ड जो कॉन्स्पिरेसी था वो उसमें कामयाब हो गए। आप स्टोन पेल्टिंग करते हैं मस्जिद के ऊपर और फिर दो घर को जला देते हैं, लोग जख्मी हैं, घायल हैं, 4 व्हीलर बंद करते हैं, 2 व्हीलर बंद करते हैं। तो ये झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा की सरकार क्यों सो रही है? क्यों उनको अलाउ किया आपने इस तरह की दंगाइयों को? आपका काम था रोकना, इनकी सरासर नाकामी है और वो अपने मकसद में कामयाब हो गए। वो लोग,
हम लोग सभी समाज का रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, उनको लेके चलते हैं, उनके सुख दुख में हम लोग काम आते हैं। लेकिन जब से ये देखिएगा कि भाजपा आई है देश में या राज्यों में, एकदम समाज को बांटकर, लोगों को लड़ाकर, हिंदू मुस्लिम, मंदिर मस्जिद, पाकिस्तान हिंदुस्तान, हिंदुस्तान बांग्लादेश कर करके एकदम जो मेन मुद्दा है उसे डाइवर्ट कर देता है। विकास हमारा फोकस करना चाहिए, रोजगार हमारा फोकस करना चाहिए। अब बताइए पलामू की घटना कौन सा घटना है? हमारा पुलिस ने कंट्रोल कर लिया, सरकार ने कंट्रोल करवा लिया। अब जहाँ 100% मुस्लिम है वहाँ पे आप गाड़ दे रहे हैं वो गेट, तो गाड़िए मना नहीं है, स्वेच्छा से गाड़िए।
So the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight, Hindu festivals the soft target? That's the question and the debate. Sanatan under siege. That's the hashtag and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, also professor at the JNU, Rahul Ishwar, activist, Subrashtra, author and founder of The Churn, Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress Party, advocate Muhammad Ali Hassan, AIMIM Youth President. Also joining us tonight is Vivek Srivastava, political analyst. My first question goes to Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, coincidence that now from Kerala it moves to Jharkhand, and Shivratri is a problem. 144 in Devghar, Shiv ki Nagri as Nishikant Dubey calls it, and also in Palamu we've seen communal tensions coming up. We've seen this happening in Bengal in the past during Durga Puja Visarjan, and Kerala just a couple of days ago. Is this a pattern? And where are those who often see Islamophobia written on the walls? They can't even detect any Hinduphobia here?
Good evening, Navika. We have to be dealing with this issue philosophically, if I may, because this pattern has been there for almost 1,000 years. Hindus and Hinduism have always been targeted because being peaceful and all accommodating and all accepting and all questioning and non-predatory, they give the impression that their belief, their way of life, their nation can be subjugated, converted and conquered. Ram Navami processions, Durga Puja processions, Hanuman Jayanti Sobha Yatras, even Garba celebrations are attacked and stoned with impunity. And none of these incidents elicit outrage from the cottage industry of activists and journalists who only highlight incidents where Muslims are the victims. In fact, if we were to believe the goings on in Modi's Hindu Rashtra, all around us, all we see are Dara hua Musalmans. From Jammu, where Dara hua Musalmans are shouting from the top of mosque that they will behead Nupur Tiwari and all those who oppose Azan and Hijab, to Hubli, where Dara hua Musalmans are pouring onto streets because some Hindu kid photoshopped a Bhagwa flag. From Mumbai, where Dara hua Musalmans are gathering in their tens of thousands for the funeral of terrorist Yaqub Memon. To Srinagar, where Dara hua Musalmans are collecting for the funeral of terrorist Burhan Wani. From Aurangabad, where Dara hua Musalmans are rioting in the streets because someone Facebook post said Aurangzeb was a mass murderer. To Assam, where Dara hua Musalmans are burning down a police station. Everywhere you look, there is no Hindu being targeted. All we see are Dara hua Musalmans. So now to the second issue, Navika, I get this and I dare say you do too. All the time. From the Chauthi fails and leftist dunderheads and religious fanatics, the moment they lose an argument, why are you talking of religion? They bemoan. Why all this Hindu-Muslim talk? They say this the moment I talk of religion other than Hinduism. They never tire exposing the ills of Hinduism. They want to burn the Vedas and the Smritis. They want people to reject Hinduism, leave its fold. But the moment I quote the holy verses unpalatable to them, the moment I redress the balance, they begin jumping like crabs on a hot pan saying, don't talk of religion, don't talk of religion. Someone tell these hammerheads that religion must be talked about not just some of the time, but all of the time. It is the great disruptor. It has led to illogic and irrationality and murder and terror. It is the longest running dictatorial regime that has subjugated billions and ordered and extracted unspeakable crimes from them. And yet, you don't want a Darwinian atheist to expose its ills. Why? Because you're scared and embarrassed by it. And your embarrassment has turned to hate. Navika, just 30 seconds. Finally, I want to ask a very simple, very polite yes and no question to my friend from the AIMIM. If I say, quote, Islam and Christianity have distinct enmity against all other religions. They are not just satisfied with observing their own religions, but are determined to destroy all other religions, unquote. I want to ask you, sir, yes or no? Am I a communal bigot? Just answer, simple question.
I wish you hadn't, but since you have, yes, you and we are not into censorship, Hassan Saab, jawab denge aap?
Yes, you are.
Right. Now, Navika, please give me 10 seconds.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Navika, can I please get... Yes, Hassan Saab, thank you very much.
Navika, ma'am, give him all 30 minutes. Give him all 30 minutes. He will be not satisfied after 30 minutes also.
Navika, please.
मैं वो 300 मिनट ले लीजिए. आप 300 मिनट आप ले लीजिए.
10 सेकंड देती हूँ आनंद रंगनाथन को और फिर मैं आपके पास आ रही हूँ हसन साहब.
हसन साहब की मैं बहुत कदर करता हूँ. मैं आपके व्यूअर्स के लिए रिपीट कर दूं. I asked him a simple question. I quoted something and I asked him, am I a communal bigot if I am saying this?
I will answer all your questions, Mr. Anand Radan. Don't worry. I will answer all your questions. Don't worry.
Are your faders not working? Are your faders not working, dear Navika? Please, because this is the crux. This explains everything. So please allow me 10 seconds.
over, I think.
आप इंटरप्ट ना करें, आप इंटरप्ट ना करें, so long as you don't say anything objectionable, which gets me and the channel into trouble. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, what is the argument that you are making? Let's not quote any religious verses out of anywhere, because I'm not in the business of hurting anybody one way or another. But what is the question that you have?
Yes, I asked him, if I say Islam has distinct enmity against all religions and not satisfied with observing its own religion but determined to destroy all other religions, I asked him, am I a communal bigot? And he said yes. Now let me tell you, this is the verbatim quote of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore.
No.
So Mr. Hassan is saying that Tagore is a bigot.
Mr. Anand,
he is saying,
don't put your words on me. I will answer all your questions.
Tagore is a bigot.
You don't dictate your terms.
All right. Advocate Hassan, मेरा सवाल आपसे है. Advocate Hassan, सेक्युलरिज्म का इल्जाम आप लगाते हैं कि सेक्युलरिज्म कहीं ना कहीं मर गया है.
Ma'am, ask him to be.
I'm asking you a question, Advocate Hassan.
Yeah, ma'am.
वो स्कूल और कॉलेज में बताया जाता है, आप कंसंट्रेट करिए जो मैं सवाल आपसे.
जी मैम, यस मैम.
Tagore is a bigot.
Well, Hassan Saab, my question to you is, if secularism is something that is enshrined in our constitution, then why are Hindu festivals being targeted? जब कुछ गलत होता है तो हर किसी को गलत और सही का फर्क तो पता होता है. आप क्यों नहीं कहते कि अगर सेक्शन 144 लगा दिया जाता है सिर्फ इस बात पर कि भाई महाशिवरात्रि की प्रोसेशन ना निकले, ये गलत है. किसी को भी अपनी रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल्स जो है उसको मनाने का हक है. अब इस पर आप क्यों आवाज नहीं उठाते? क्योंकि ये हिंदू फेस्टिवल है.
सबसे पहले नविका मैम, उन्होंने इस्लाम की बात की और उन्होंने कहा कि दूसरे मजहब को इस्लाम में इज्जत नहीं है, तो उनको मैं कुरान की एक आयत से बता, लकुम दीनकुम वलिया दीन, ये कुरान की आयत का मैं मफहूम आपको बोलूँगा कि तुम्हारा धर्म तुम्हारे लिए, मेरा धर्म मेरे लिए. ये साफ साफ कुरान पाक में लिखा है, ला इकरा फिद्दीन, यानी धर्म में किसी ज़बरदस्ती का इजाज़त नहीं है. उसके बाद आप ही बतलाइए, मैंने वहाँ के आईजी का भी सुना और वहाँ पर एक दिन पहले वहाँ के जो पुलिस पदाधिकारी हैं उन्होंने एक मीटिंग जो की थी, उस मीटिंग में साफ साफ क्या कहा गया था कि मस्जिद के द्वार पर ये गेट नहीं लगना चाहिए क्योंकि आने जाने में दिक्कत होगा और बेवजह का तनाव उत्पन्न होगा. लेकिन क्योंकि निशिकांत दुबे जी 8 साल से मंत्रिमंडल का इंतजार कर रहे हैं, बेचैन हैं, बेकरार हैं, तो उन्होंने क्या क्या कहा वो आपके सामने है. आप ये बतला दीजिए कि आप ही बतलाइए कि कोई जब पुलिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के सामने यह बात हो गई कि वहां पर गेट नहीं लगेगा तो फिर पत्थरबाजी करने का क्या है. मिलादुन नबी का भी जलसा होता है, मुहर्रम का भी जलसा होता है. अगर जो पुलिस पदाधिकारी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जहां का इजाजत देती है, मैं बिहार सीमांचल से आता हूं, वहां पे भी जहां इजाजत मिलता है वहीं पर हम लोग वो प्रोग्राम करते हैं. कोई जबरदस्ती कहीं का प्रोग्राम नहीं करते हैं. तो ये बात प्रशासन को समझना पड़ेगा कि क्यों नहीं प्रशासन की बात किया, क्यों नहीं प्रशासन की बात माना इन्होंने.
मैं आपकी प्रशंसा करता हूं, बहुत पीसफुल बात कर रहे हैं. बस ये बता दीजिए कि क्या अहमदिया,
और इन्होंने कहा बुरहान वानी की बात, तो महबूबा मुफ्ती मोहतरमा के साथ सरकार भाजपा बनाई थी. इन भाजपा
बुरहान वानी की बात नहीं की है, उन्होंने बुरहान वानी की बात नहीं किया. आपको बुरहान वानी क्यों याद आ रहे हैं? बुरहान वानी की बात नहीं की उन्होंने, आपको क्यों बुरहान वानी याद आ रहे हैं? उनका सवाल कुछ और है, पहले सवाल तो सुन लीजिए. आनंद रंगनाथन, व्हाट इज योर क्वेश्चन?
उन्होंने की है, उन्होंने किया. आप उनका रिकॉर्डिंग
हसन साहब देखिए प्लीज, हसन साहब प्लीज, आज थर्सडे है, प्लीज आप मैं आपकी बहुत कदर करता हूं. आपके जो दोस्त वारिस पठान मेरे बड़े भाई हैं,
के लिए नहीं, आपको भी जवाब सुनना पड़ेगा. दोनों तरफ से वन वे ट्रैफिक नहीं चलेगा.
सुनूंगा
प्रोफेसर साहब, वन वे ट्रैफिक नहीं चलता है, दोनों तरफ से होना चाहिए.
आपकी बातें सर आंखों पर. हसन साहब थोड़ा हंस दीजिए, थोड़ा हंस दीजिए. मैं आपसे बस एक सवाल पूछ रहा हूं. आपने बहुत पीसफुल बात करी, बहुत अच्छी बात करी, सुन लीजिए, बहुत अच्छी बातें करी. बस एक बता दीजिए, क्या अहमदियाज मुस्लिम है?
सुनाइए सुनिए. मैं मुफ्ती नहीं हूं मिस्टर प्रोफेसर आनंद, मैं मुफ्ती नहीं हूं, मैं रिलीजियस स्कॉलर नहीं हूं, मैं पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट हूं, मैं MIM का कार्यकर्ता हूं. मैं किसी को सर्टिफिकेट नहीं देता हूं. कि कौन मुसलमान है कौन नहीं है, उसके लिए मैं टीवी चैनल पे नहीं बैठा हूँ।
इस देश के
नविका मैम, मैं पलामू के मुद्दे पे बात करने आपके बीच
इनसे पूछा,
नहीं
जवाब
मैं
नहीं
ना
दे रहे।
रामचरितमानस पर
आप जवाब ना दें। अभी मेरे दूसरे शो में हिंदी टाइम्स नाउ भारत के शो में असीम वकार साहब बता चुके हैं कि अहमदिया मुसलमान नहीं है। वो मुझे बता चुके हैं, वो मुझे बता चुके हैं। और वहां पर ये आर्ग्यूमेंट हो चुकी है। आप मुफ्ती ना हो ना सही, लेकिन लेट मी गेट इन।
वो हो चुका है, मैंने वो वीडियो नहीं देखा है। मैं पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट हूँ, मैं पलामू पर बात करने आया हूं।
शायद वकार साहब मुफ्ती हो, पर एनीवे राहुल ईश्वर आई एम नॉट गेटिंग दैट, आई एम नॉट डाइग्रेसिंग फ्रॉम द बेसिक डिबेट, आई एम नॉट डाइग्रेसिंग फ्रॉम द बेसिक डिबेट। मिस्टर हसन, जस्ट काम डाउन। राहुल ईश्वर जी, my question to you is,
okay, ma'am.
Is it a coincidence?
Okay,
is it a coincidence that it's happened in Palamu, in Devghar? It happened a couple of days ago in Kerala. And you know, it has happened during Durga Puja in Bengal also. All of them happened to be opposition ruled state. And last year during Nam Nambi, it happened in Rajasthan. Again, coincidence that it happens to be a Congress ruled state. So Rahul Ishwar, how come this coincidence happens on Hindu festivals and in opposition ruled states?
Navika ji, just two submissions. One, I am holding a report of 2nd August 1931 of the national movement at that point of time, where they even suggested India should have a saffron flag. It was, the committee was held in Karachi, and it was signed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the great Indian Muslim scholar Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, where they said we will have a saffron flag as India's flag with a blue charkha on it. From that period, we have seen our Congress come to a stage where they don't even condemn people or police, brutalizing and intimidating believers not to use saffron. See, this is the sad state of pseudo-secularism in our nation. At one point of time, our nation considered even adopting an entire saffron flag for our nation. And later, Mahatma Gandhi wanted a tricolor. That's the reason why we went with it. But having said that, that much important saffron has. And in Kerala, there are people, the pseudo-secular relevants don't even allow saffron flag to be displayed. This is the state. This is the sad state of secularism in India. And are we children of a lesser God? Will we ever tell a Muslim brother not to use green in their mosque? Or will we ever dictate how a Christian should conduct their church festival? But when it comes to Hindus, they believe, the pseudo-secular left liberal spectrum believes, by provoking Hindus, insulting Hindus, they are earning brownie points. They believe they are having some kind of upper hand, saying that we have brutalized the majority. We have intimidated the majority. So, hame all the minorities vote. This is the sad state that is happening in India, whether it is Palamu, whether it is Kerala, whether it is West Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee can easily say Durga Puja can have later, we can have other religious procession given the priority. This kind of pseudo-secular stepmotherly attitude towards the largest community in India has been the hallmark of what is called secularism in India. Unfortunately, secularism institutionalized has become a Hinduphobia in India, whereas bashing, insulting, intimidating Hindus has become some kind of a victory point for self-made secular. It is high time they correct it. It's high time we Hindus realize it. And beyond politics, let Hindus stand up for our rights, because it is our nation too. We are the largest Hindu majority nation in the world. It is important that India take care of Hindu interests, and we are not subjected to some kind of second-class citizenship.
Well, Lokesh Jindal, what's the problem? Nobody is saying that other festivals should not be celebrated. But why is there an allergy to Hindu festivals? It's a limited question people are asking. And in the constitution, the original constitution, you see this, the Ram Darbar, it was there. Ram, Sita, Lakshman, all over there. This is Vedic Gurukul showed over here. This is Krishnji, and Bhagavad Gita depicted here. Also, if you look at Mahabalipuram, Hanuman आजकल तो वो स्टिकर भी पेंटिंग भी हटा दी जाती है एरोप्लेन से, पर संविधान में है. And then you look at the Natraj, and this Natraj picture, this is Lord Shiva. ये तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में है. अब शिवरात्रि processions are not being allowed in Jharkhand. You are in government over there. I want to ask you, Lokesh Jindal, what's the allergy? What's the problem?
Navika, this is the photograph of a Shiva temple in southern Kashmir, and it is being managed by Mushtaq Ahmad Sheikh. There is a Shiva temple 900-year-old in Pahalgam in Kashmir, whereby the priest is Muslims. There are two priests, Muhammad Abdullah and Ghulam Hassan. They both are Muslims. And in Pakistan, there was an attempt by bigots to vandalize a Hindu temple. Thereby, the Muslims came and made sure that the Hindu temple was safe, absolutely. 650 years, India was having an Islamic state. But none of the scriptures during that point of time, either Bhakti or any of the scriptures, ever has mentioned any form of hatred towards Islam. Because Hindu as a religion was never in danger. Why are we promoting that it is in danger now? It is not at all. There are always two sets of people. One are those who resort to bigotry to get some form of political points, and there are others who are humanitarian, who understand the essence of religion and stand by what is right, what is wrong. So blaming a particular community and
let's cut the chase. I want to ask you. Let's cut the chase. I want to ask you. आप किस तरफ हैं? Will you do you think that celebrating Mahashivratri or taking out the Shiv Barat is bigotry?
Navika,
नहीं आप जवाब दीजिए. Straight question. I want a straight answer.
Not at all. Not at all. It's
then why is it being stopped in Jharkhand? Why is there section 144?
Because what is happening is, in the garb of religious festival, some organizations, political party, they bring about communal rioting so as to get political polarization.
Oh, and that happens only in Hindu religions? It doesn't happen in any other festivals?
No, because I'll tell you, last year, by April, the entire India was burning due to communal riots. You know why? Because February and March was the election season. Whenever there is election season, there are communal riots. Because a necessary and sufficient ground is to be made so that communalized politicization can take place. The BJP can have its propaganda narrative set into the society. Votes can be sought after. But then Hindus and Muslims, they have lived together in harmony. There is no mutual conflicts between them. The societies are way more mature so as to get provoked. They will continue to live in harmony. All these people who are trying to instigate violence.
Mr. Jindal is living in La La Land.
They will realize over a period of time their
जिंदल साहब प्रवचन वाला चैनल दूसरा है, प्रवचन वाला चैनल दूसरा है, लेकिन सुब्राष्ट्रा जी, लोकेश जिंदल जी is giving us pravachans about, you know, how we should all live together and all. Suddenly, Rajasthan last year, you know, during Ram Navami, probably not ruled by his party. Kerala, you know, the state from where Mr. Rahul Gandhi now is an MP. What happened? Probably Mr. Lokesh Jindal not aware of that. Jharkhand, where he's a partner in the government, he probably hasn't heard of what's happening over there. And he's saying, ये political parties कर रहे हैं और you know ये तो philosophy है कि हम सब इकट्ठे रहते हैं. नहीं भाई, आसपास जो हो रहा है इनको दिख नहीं रहा है क्या?
Navika ji, you can reason with somebody who wants to see a ground reality, but how do you reason with somebody who lives in a La La Land? At the end of the day, when we are discussing specific incidents that happen in specific parts of the country today, Lokesh Jindal is not able to take a stand. This gentleman from AIMIM who has come to speak, Mr. Hassan, he is not able to take a stand. And the reason why these people are not able to take a stand is because these are all Hindu festivals which are being targeted. Tell me, we have been talking about Diwali ban for, I don't know, maybe since a decade now. Has anybody talked about a Bakrid ban for that matter? It is equally harmful for the environment. But nobody can even, maybe tomorrow I might be lynched in public because I said that Bakrid should be banned. And nobody will stand up for me because Lokesh Jindal believes that just because one Muslim priest is handling one temple in Kashmir, we all live in harmony. But Lokesh Jindal will totally eliminate what happened in Kanpur after the Jummeh ki namaz, when the whole, you know, the whole Nupur Sharma episode flared out. So which world are we living in, and why do we expect these politicians to answer us in any which way?
Subhrashtra, can I reply?
The point is, Navikaji, if somebody says that, because there are elections, there are communal conflagrations which happen, then my question to these people who are making such arguments is that does communal tension happen with just one side trying to instigate? Or does it happen after instigation when both parties get involved? Where is the Congress party then? Do you see Rahul Gandhi intervening during riots? Do you see Sonia, Rahul or Robert Vadra or Priyanka Vadra going out in a riot, in an area where riots are flared up to say that we are all, Gandhis and we should, preach all this conversation on non-violence? Does it happen there? Did we see Rahul Gandhi during Delhi riots anywhere?
Please give me a choice.
No, why are you speaking? I don't understand why
you want to make a counter? I will allow you to make a counter. Just take a deep breath, allow her to finish, and you will get your chance to make a counter. Relax.
No,
Yes, Subhrashtra.
Navika ji is asking me, what do I want? I don't want you guys to take a hypocritical stand on any issue. There is a question on Mahashivratri today. Take a stand. Say that, your Rahul Gandhi, who went to Ujjain and went temple hopping, sitting in front of Mahakal, say that we are a party of Mahakal Bhakts and let Mahashivratri be celebrated with full fan and fair. Why? What stops you from saying that? There's a very specific incident that Mahashivratri celebrations are being targeted by specific elements in the Muslim community today. Take a stand. You asked for an advice. I gave you a very political advice.
Well, and Lokesh Jindal respond. Lokesh Jindal respond. I don't know the fact, whether it's a fact or not, because investigations are still going on. But Subhrashtra has raised a question. Respond to that question.
Yes. You gave me an example whereby you held one religious community responsible for attacks for not carrying out Mahashivratri Yatra. And I gave you two examples where...
So Lokesh Jindal, I don't think you get the question. Let me explain. Navika ji, please allow me 10 seconds to explain my question in much greater detail to him. So that, he gives me a pinpointed answer. Mr. Lokesh Jindal interrupted me when I was speaking, asking me what he should do, which I interpreted as what Congress party should do. So my question to him is this. Point number one, there are Mahashivratri celebrations that will happen all across the country on the 18th of February this year. Point number one. Point number two, Lokesh Jindal, who comes from a party whose prime leader went temple hopping, sat in front of Mahakal and did this whole puja in front of
I get your point. Lokesh Jindal, the question is simply this. The question, Lokesh Jindal just shouting over everybody does not help my viewer and does not help your party's cause. The question she's asking you is very simple. Many people ask this question. अगर आपकी आस्था है, if you go to temples and you believe in Lord Shiva, because Mahakal is where Rahul Gandhi recently went, and she's asking you a direct question, then why should you not raise your voice against people from a particular community, in inverted commas, her statement, are trying to stop the Shivratri procession in Jharkhand? You're in government there. You should be able to ensure.
Yes, I want to answer. I'm of the point of view that the examples that I gave, it shows that both the communities can live in peace and harmony.
Okay.
Why are we simply
fantastic?
You
say that. You say that. Do you? Lokesh Jindal. 1 minute, Subhrashtra ji. Lokesh Jindal. Do you have any respect for Ambedkar ji? Yes or no?
I have.
You have? Then let me read out an excerpt from his book. What Ambedkar had said in his book on Pakistan in the context of religious processions. He said, noticeable among Muslims is the spirit of exploiting weaknesses of the Hindus. If the Hindus object to anything, the Muslim policy seems to be to insist upon it and give it up only when the Hindus show themselves ready to offer a price for it by giving the Muslims some concessions. Point one. Another part, he writes, on music before mosques for instance, he says music may be played before a mosque in all Muslim countries without any objection. Even in Afghanistan, which is not a secular country, no objection is taken to music before a mosque. But in India, the Muslims must insist upon its stoppage for no other reason except the Hindus claim a right to it. Now tell me you disagree with Ambedkar ji.
See, the statement that were given by Dr. Ambedkar were in context to separate electorates. The
In
separate
context.
electorates during the British time period and the policy of divide and rule, it led to communal tensions and
is
social
just
disharmony. So it is within this context that Dr. Ambedkar had given these statements.
Context कुछ भी हो, context कुछ भी हो, the context can be anything, my friend. But Dr. Anand Ranganathan, does the context change the nature of the argument that he's making?
नाविका, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग टू मी फाइनली. यू नो, मैं बहुत दिनों से ये सोच रहा था कि राहुल गांधी को एडवाइस कौन कर रहा है कि वो बार बार हारता जा रहा है. आज पता चला कि लोकेश जिंदल एडवाइस कर रहे हैं. ये कहां से आर्ग्यूमेंट ला रहे हैं नाविका? इट इज फ्रॉम द फ्राइंग पैन टू द फायर. इट्स सो बिजार. इट इज फ्रॉम द सब्लाइम टू द रिडिकुलस. आई एम रनिंग आउट ऑफ एपिथेट्स आउट हियर. When he's talking about गंगा जमनी, ये कौन सी बातें कर रहे हैं? इनको अभी पता है कर्नाटका में क्या हुआ था. Poor Hindus wanted to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi. They said हमें एक दिन के लिए थोड़ा लैंड दे दो, जो कि वक्फ लैंड बना हुआ था. Did the Muslims say yes? No. Did they say yes? No. Navika, I can't talk like this because हर चीज में just answer this question. If it was Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb and enough Hindus have always opened their temples for performing namaz, you know it in Gurgaon also. Why couldn't the Muslims in Karnataka allow for a day that land they had to go to court? Hindus had to go to court. This is your Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb. बार गरबा procession में stone pelting is your Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि there is no friendliness between the two communities. There is, but don't try and paper up and wrap under the carpet all the things that need to be brought out.
Dr. Ranganathan, let me clarify some of the points. Every community, every society has various grounds where tensions can be stoked up. It's upon you whether you want to stoke up tension or you want a communal harmony. Now, while there was an Islamic rule in the country, we saw that over a period of time, there were Hindus visiting Sufi shrines and there were Muslims who were visiting Hindu saints. So that entire communal tension, that religious difference that you say, it was almost on the verge of getting eliminated.
Which Sufi shrine?
Lokesh Jindal, just cut through the chase. Let me ask you the political question and the Congress's stand. Can you distance yourself from a statement made by a Congress MLA in Madhya Pradesh who said Ram Navami celebrations are unnecessary? Last year in April, this statement was made. Azan Rao happened. DK Shivkumar said BJP is targeting mosques. Have you heard anything from DK Shivkumar on Shivratri? I'm coming to you, Vivek Srivastav ji. Okay. But nobody raised a question. Also, Soren government allows building of namaz hall in assembly in 2021. Nobody said कि भाई Hinduphobia क्यों हो रहा है. Not one word from the Congress party. Congress opposed Khattar's decision of namaz. He had opposed namaz on roads. वहाँ तो आपकी बड़ी जल्दी से बाहर आ गए थे सारे placards. But Rahul Gandhi celebrates Eid with residents of Amethi. But हमने तो नहीं देखा कि महाशिवरात्रि के लिए कोई किसी के साथ खड़ा हो रहा है.
राहुल जी खुद उज्जैन महाकालेश्वर में जाते हैं, वहाँ पर
तो देवघर पर कुछ कर दीजिए ना.
और जाकर
तो देवघर के लिए 144 क्यों है?
से आशीर्वाद लेते हैं, तो वो आपको क्यों नहीं दिखता?
राहुल ईश्वर, हमें नहीं दिखता या कहीं ना कहीं कांग्रेस इज हिपोक्रिटिकल.
Just two submissions. I am not into any kind of politics, but as a Hindu, it hurt me deeply when they told in the Supreme Court that there is no Ram and there is no Ram Setu. Has Congress ever apologized or even accepted that? In Kerala, one cow was killed open just to show some protest in North India. Rijal Makuti, who walks with Rahul Gandhi, did that. See, there are many instances where people feel that they have not owned up. And Lokesh Jindalji, it was your party which supported a saffron flag for India at one point of time. From there to here, where have you come? This is the sad state. Where have you come? And you are not taking care of Hindu interests. For example, will you be ready to condemn the left move? It's the CPM government. The left move to saying that there should not be saffron only kind of, all the decorations in the temple. Why have such antipathy to saffron? So you don't stand up for Hindu rights. And when any other political formation is standing up for it, you have already lost the space. You have lost the right to stand up. At one point of time, Congress may have been a Hindu party, but you should own that up rather than playing to the Muslim vote bank, playing to the pseudo-secular bank. You have conceded the space. That's the reason why, many other parties who are strongly for Hindus came up. This is the fault that you have.
It's a fact. It's a fact that the Constitution has the depictions of the Ramayana, of Lord Ram, of Natraj, which is the form of Shiva in the dance state. All of this is part of our constitution, and I'm not saying anything unconstitutional. Our constitution also upholds secularism, which I firmly believe in as a citizen of India. Every religion has the right to celebrate their own festivals. Every person should be allowed and is allowed under the constitution to follow his or her own religion. Then why are Hindu festivals on target? And it's not just one place, two places, it's incidents that happen again and again, and in opposition ruled states that this question really arises. Is there a pattern? Do opposition governments really need to look at, because it could be just a law and order situation. Why don't you look after your law and order situation? The point is, Ram Navami last year, right from then to Shivratri this year. Why are there so many questions and so many impediments to celebrations of Hindu festivals? It's a very simple question without any communal agenda that we are asking tonight. It can't just be coincidence. And if it's a plot, it really doesn't work well if you believe in the secular credentials of India. Islamophobia cannot be the only disease that you talk about in India. Hinduphobia exists. Please raise your voice against that as well. Let's be just, let's be equal with every religion. That's all. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, my panelists, for joining me on debate number 1. But on the other side, just look at the hypocrisy. With just months to go for the big Telangana battle, temple politics is in full throttle in the state. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has vowed a rupees 1,000 crore revamp of the famous Lord Hanuman Gonda Gatu temple. Not just the Hanuman shrine, Chief Minister has recently inaugurated the Yadadiri temple, which was renovated at a whopping cost of rupees 2,000 crores. The BJP says it's nothing but an eyewash to grab the votes of Hindus after blatantly appeasing a particular community. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the Chief Minister KCR who's flaunting his Hanuman Bhakti before elections. The Congress party has also jumped into that race. They have questioned the existence of Lord Ram in the past, but they've decided to put their faith in the Maryada Purushottam now. The Congress has vowed to build 100 Ram temples in 100 constituencies if it is voted to power in Telangana. The same Congress party had linked Hindutva to ISIS, murder and violence. The question now comes up, is this Hindu Bhakti just for the ballot? And that's the question we're asking tonight. And joining me on debate number 2 tonight, Krishna Sagar Rao, Chief Spokesperson of the BJP in Telangana, Ravulla Sridhar Reddy, Spokesperson of the BRS, Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Lokesh Jindal continue to be with us. Ravulla Sridhar Reddy, my first question to you. Sankat Mochan Hanuman, that's how he's referred to in North India. So is Hanuman going to save the political fortunes of the BRS in the forthcoming elections? Is that why now promises of this kind are being made? Because you know that Hindutva is going to be the battle in Telangana?
I don't think so. Hindutva will be a main point of agenda in Telangana basically. Whatever development and welfare we have done in the past 9 years and in the year to go, that will give us the win again, and we are going to form the government with more than 100 seats out of 119 seats in Telangana. Neither BJP nor Congress will have any space in our state. That is number one, that is the clarity. And building a temple or renovating a temple is not politics for us. It may be a political point for many. It may be a polarization point for many. A few political parties might use the religion or different faiths for their political gains. But BRS party or our leader Honorable CM KCRG, we don't believe in it. Today people are saying that, after announcing 1,000 crores yesterday to Kondagattu Hanuman temple, there are many, criticism from both the BJP and Congress, and they are coming with different definitions. When we were building Yadadri temple, fondly known as Yadagiri Gutta in Telangana, with more than 1,600 crores budget, were there elections in our state? Did any time KCR took the name of the God and asked for the votes? It is BJP who does that kind of politics. We don't need it. Our development, our working style for the poor and the needy will give us win. This is not the part of our political campaign at all. Kondagattu Hanuman temple is a very ancient and historic temple which has a history of more than 400 years, and across India many devotees come there, lakhs of devotees, especially during Hanuman Jayanti.
So you're saying it's nothing to do with politics. Politics will only be on development, and renovation
absolutely
is
not.
Is a
People
separate
with
issue.
narrow
Krishna
mind.
Sagar Rao. Krishna
Absolutely.
Sagar Rao
Absolutely.
joining us on the debate. Krishna Sagar Rao, the TRS spokesperson says nothing to do with the religion in this. This is not, this is not about the elections at all. In fact, it's all about people. Renovation is part of the projects that the government takes up. It's actually about development. We're losing the line with Krishna Sagar Rao. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, would you want to take up that question?
Yes. Now, while it is good that the money is being spent for the renovation or building of Hindu temples, the fact remains that all parties are guilty of practicing pseudo-secularism. How is it secularism that the government has taken upon itself to actually celebrate religion? When secularism, the definition of secularism itself means there's a complete difference or demarcation between the church and state. This is not secularism. Number two, not only Telangana government, but every government, every state government, including the central government as well, they leech from Hindu temples billions and billions of dollars. Not only from the rent that they collect or not collect from the Hindu temple land, but also the temple boards that are heavily under government control, and Telangana is a shining example of that. So all this money that they are saying that, we are Hindutvadi and we are for Hindus, spending so much for, it's actually Hindu money. It is Hindu temple money, and Telangana has a law that it leaches money from the Tirupati itself. Do you know the hundi collection of Tirupati? It is 700 crores for 2 months. They are spending 1,000 crores, God knows for how many decades they've been leeching money from Tirupati. And they audit every temple that earns more than 5 lakhs. Please correct me if I'm wrong, the Telangana spokesperson, is a party spokesperson. Is it not correct? That has to give 21% of its revenue to the government.
Why do we
so
draw
you
money
are
from
taking
Tirupati?
money. You are taking money from the Hindus, and if you are giving a little bit of money,
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, I think that money goes to the Andhra government and not to the Telangana government.
You are misinformed.
I'm saying Telangana government is also one part. Telangana government also. I said even the BJP
there are
government.
very few.
Not
Navika,
very.
can I clarify this?
Sir,
Can I?
Is your government controlling Hindu temples or not? Yes or no? Just answer yes or no, sir.
There are temples which are under the environment department. Definitely they are there for a proper supervision. What's wrong in it basically? I don't understand this. Tirupati temple also is controlled by a government.
Are you
there is
controlling
a
churches?
authority.
Are you controlling churches? Are you controlling churches?
Don't try to politicize Mr. Ranganathan.
Why politicize? Ask you a question.
There are different kind of authorities.
Churches?
Not only
Sir, please
Telangana
answer.
is no
Please
exception
answer.
to that.
Navika,
The topic
Topic is.
I am not here to answer your unnecessary questions, which are not part of the subject at all.
What do you
want to talk
course
whatever you want.
कोर्स के बाहर है कोर्स के बाहर है आपका क्वेश्चन बट कृष्ण सागर राव बिफोर आई lose his connection Mr. Krishna Sagar Rao the BRS spokesperson says that the Hanuman temple redevelopment is nothing to do with politics. Development will be the agenda for the elections and development is the pitch for the forthcoming elections in Telangana. Respond to that statement.
Hi Navika and the rest of the people on the panel. See, it is only appeasement under big force. No development. That is not the Telangana model. Telangana model is appeasement, and he has been appeasing the CM of the state has been appeasing the Muslims of the state very well all these years, and now he is wanting to do it with Hindus now that the elections are coming up. So that is very clear. There is no confusion here. If any of the BJP states in this country were to spend 1800 crores to develop a temple, an existing temple, then you understand what kind of a halla would be there in this country under the secular credentials question. Now the quasi or false seculars, they can build temples. They can actually, as a government, allocate 2,000 crores and then build a temple, and we are supposed to understand it as
exactly the question that was raised by Dr. Anand Ranganathan. The point is that if you are a secular government, Mr. Reddy, then if one single paisa from the government had gone to the Ram Mandir, all of you would have said that the secular credentials of the government are questionable. Now you spend 2,000 crore on Hanuman temple and other temples. That is secular.
Now very secular.
See, in Telangana, every faith, every religion is treated with proper respect.
Oh.
We are not like BJP politicizes the religion.
Oh, you certify yourself.
And here we celebrate Ramzan. The government, can you please, the government organizes iftar. And Ramzan tohfas are distributed to the people. And Christmas is celebrated in a grand manner. My question is, can BJP declare in Telangana that we are against the development of Kondagattu to Hanuman temple, where lakhs of people come there, and during the Hanuman Jayanti, people observe a Mandal Diksha and they come there to offer their prayers. It's the government's responsibility to create infrastructure there. And to conduct all the proper, prayers there.
All right. Let me get in, Mr. Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal, आपका तो धर्म ही कुछ और है. Jharkhand में no Mahashivratri will be allowed, but in Telangana, you will build temples in every district, in every constituency. ये वो हिंदी में कहावत है 900 चूहे खा के बिल्ली आज को चली.
Well, Navika, I would distance myself as an individual from this particular declaration that is made by the Telangana Congress. I would have appreciated if they would have tried to make 100 hospitals, even in the name of Shri Ram, and 100 schools. That would have been far more progressive and better. So that's my personal opinion.
So you don't think building temples anywhere in the country is progressive?
No, see,
what do you call progressive? Can I know the definition of progressive as per you?
I myself am built a temple. I am a trustee of a temple. So then the temple was built with our own money. I mean, every penny was invested with our own money.
Is it even real?
Came together.
Navika, can I come in?
The point is, it's a religious issue whereby a society comes forward. Let the society contribute and build a temple. But when the state comes into action, the state is supposed to look after the society in a secular manner, in looking at the welfare of the society. So the primary objectives of the society with respect to their health, education, their social economic development, all this comes forward.
You mean to say that building a Hanuman temple is not secular?
Primary responsibility rather than politicizing all these forms.
You are having a laugh at my expense.
Take on this.
Well, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, I'm not laughing at anybody's expense. What's the point you want to make?
The point one is that the Honorable Mr. Reddy does not know what secularism actually means. Somebody has to tell him. Secularism means complete separation of state and religion. And as far as Mr. Lokesh Jindal is concerned, now Mr. Reddy.
Mr. Ranganathan.
Mr. Reddy.
Mr. Ranganathan. No,
Mr. Reddy, I am telling you the dictionary definition. No, please don't do that. Mr. Reddy, I respect you a lot. Please. Mr. Reddy,
Mr. Reddy, a secular government does not put taxpayers' money into temples because the taxpayers could belong to other religions. That's the point he is making.
I understand. It is whether it is a temple or a mosque or a church, Telangana government treats equally, and we create.
That is pluralism, not secularism, sir.
Where thousands and
exactly. If you have to spend money, you can spend your party funds. You cannot spend government funds. That's what the secular definition actually
states. Now let me tell you.
Now, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, complete your point to Lokesh Jindal.
I think you are giving a
Mr. Reddy, please, I can't continue like this, Mr. Reddy.
Mr. Reddy, let's not interrupt each other. What's your question to Lokesh Jindal, Anand Ranganathan?
Yes, that it was Congress that actually overturned the Supreme Court judgment in 1954 and 1959 and brought in the Endowments Act. Congress has been leeching billions upon billions from Hindu temples, and they have the temerity to say कि भैया हॉस्पिटल खोल दो, पहले वो सारा वापस करो सारा पैसा वापस करो। राजस्थान में जितने एंडाउमेंट एक्ट लगाए हुए हैं सारा वापस करो पैसा।
Have you read the Constitution? Do you know that which institution has the right to property? No, tell me one thing. Which institution?
Return all that money.
The only institution that has
return all that money first.
It is the temple. It is religious institution.
Return all that money that you have leached from Hindu temples.
Only religious.
By controlling and setting rent on Hindu temple property. Return all that money.
Read Article 26.
मजाक बना रखा है.
Under this article.
कोई भी आगे कुछ भी कह के चला जाता है. मुझे explain करना पड़ता है.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you ask even dictionary meanings of words, you know, politics can give you meanings that probably would put to shame the Oxford or the Cambridge dictionary. Not connected with religious or spiritual matters is the meaning of secular in the Oxford dictionary, which means a secular government cannot be connected to anything that is religious. But we have Hajj doles being given, we have money being spent on building temples, and yet everybody is a bigger secularist than the other. But when it comes to some sort of protection to some religions to celebrate their festivals, all of them are absconding from answering that question. Now that is political hypocrisy for you. From the Congress building Ram temples when they question the existence of Ram, for elections they will build Ram temples in 100 districts of Telangana. After elections, who knows, and probably who cares. That's the way politics goes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same show, the News Hour at 9. Good night and be safe.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे। अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स। ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा। Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. Guys, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है। जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है। जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा। Inside the box you get this little paper box as well, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है। Like I said, वही मिला है हमको। यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है, यहाँ पर फोन पे को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल विच इज वेरी बेसिक। अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं। उफ, वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी येलो कलर। Just like the box, the smartphone also boasts the combination of black or call it dark grey along with yellow. और कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग डिजाइन आपको फ्रेम्स पर भी दिखेगा। जो कलर आपको यहाँ कैमरा मॉड्यूल पर दिख रहा है, पीछे ये जो पैच पर दिख रहा है, वही आपको उसी कलर का फ्रेम दिखाई देगा विद येलो एक्सेंट्स। वेट की बात करें तो अच्छा है, लाइट वेट है और यहाँ पे जो येलो है दिस इज लिटिल बिट डल, नॉट एज वाइब्रेंट एज द बॉक्स और प्रॉपर येलो। वैसे तो मैट फिनिशिंग है लेकिन ये जो कलर है इसके अंदर हल्का सा ग्लिटर आपको दिखाई देता है। फ्लैशी नहीं है, अच्छा है। इसको साइड में रखते हैं, अभी ऑन भी करेंगे और उसके बाद स्मार्टफोन के बारे में बात करेंगे। पहले देखते हैं और क्या आपको बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई देगा। यू ऑल्सो गेट अ 67 वॉट चार्जिंग ब्रिक। I really liked how they have written 67 watt here. बहुत ही बढ़िया फॉन्ट लग रहा है, कुछ डिफरेंट देखने को मिला, वरना ज्यादातर यहाँ पर नॉर्मली लिख देते हैं 67 और 80। तो ये जो इसने हल्का सा छोटा सा अटेम्प्ट किया है विद द डिजाइन, आई रियली लाइक। साथ में आपको मिलता है टाइप सी केबल विद ऑरेंज एक्सेंट्स, जैसे कि आप यहाँ देख पा रहे होंगे। इसको भी साइड में रखते हैं and that's it, that's all you get inside the box। अब बात करते हैं स्मार्टफोन के बारे में, जरा मुझे इसे ऑन करने दीजिए। फोन को यहाँ पर सेटअप करना मैंने शुरू कर दिया है। जैसे कि आप देख पाएंगे दिस फोन रन्स ऑन MIUI 14। साथ इसको हम सेट करते रहेंगे और फोन के बारे में बात करते रहेंगे, बिकॉज यही तो सबसे ज्यादा बढ़िया पॉइंट होता है जब भी आप नया फोन सेटअप करते हैं, द फीलिंग ऑफ सेटिंग अप and shifting to a new smartphone। तो यहाँ पर इसको सेटअप कर रहे हैं। Till that time, let me talk about the display। तो यहाँ पर आपको with Poco X5 Pro मिलता है AMOLED display with the support of 120 Hz refresh।
mm एक्स्ट्रा लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट। वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज़्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज़्यादा आरामदेह। आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है, काफ़ी ज़्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज़ जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफ़ी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफ़ी ब्रॉड है, तो वहाँ पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफ़ी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफ़ी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी, क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा अपराइट बैठूँ तो यहाँ पर ये मेरा सर टच कर रहा है, बट अगेन आई एम नॉट एवरेज इंडियन हाइट, थोड़ा सा मैं ज़्यादा लंबा हूँ। तो ओवरऑल स्पेशियस, कंफर्टेबल मुझे लग रही है 2 लोगों के लिए खास तौर पर, और वैसे 3 लोगों की भी जगह है, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है बैकरेस्ट, वहाँ पर आपको आर्मरेस्ट मिलेगा, यहाँ पर फ़ोन वगैरह या टैबलेट वगैरह रखने की जगह है, और प्लस 2 कप होल्डर्स आपको यहाँ पर, या बॉटल होल्डर्स आई गेस कप होल्डर्स, वो आपको देखने को यहाँ मिल रहे हैं। ओवरऑल जो फील है वो काफ़ी सॉलिड है, जो फिनिश है काफ़ी प्रीमियम है, जो क्वालिटी है वो काफ़ी प्रीमियम आपको देखने को मिल रहा है। और यहाँ पर एसी वेंट अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ 3 जोन क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल आप समझ सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर अलग से आप अपने पैसेंजर सीट के लिए, रेयर सीट के लिए अलग टेम्परेचर जोन आप यहाँ सेट कर सकते हैं, वो कंट्रोल दिया गया है। साथ में 2 सी टाइप के पोर्ट्स भी आपको देखने को मिल रहे हैं। सो फीचर के हिसाब से, आराम के हिसाब से, स्पेस के हिसाब से सेकेंड रो is very practical, and I think this is the USP of this car. Gandhi Samo reporting from the first row of or driver seat of BMW 3GL.
Good evening and welcome. You are watching the Newshour agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. It's been 44 hours and still India's braveheart and a serving army soldier breathed his last after being hounded and stabbed to death by a DMK councillor, Chinnaswamy. The killer Neta has been put behind bars, but what's shocking is that he's still very much in the DMK. Even the Chief Minister thinks that the brutal murder of the defender of Makkal, Lance Naik Prabhu, doesn't deserve a response from him. In fact, now it seems that the DMK is bent on trying to downplay the entire incident. In fact, they've gone on to say that it was just a petty fight that is being blown up and politicized by the BJP.
It was a small petty clash among the relatives, I think. But immediately the police have arrested the councillor and others who are involved in the crime, and they are booked under specific sections of the act. The police has taken action, that's all. Police has not left that, since he is a DMK man. Police did not ignore arresting him. They have arrested him. It is a clash between 2 people of the same village. See, for every clash, if somebody dies, CM cannot go. He had instructed the people to book the culprits.
The cold-blooded murder of Lance Naik Prabhu has sparked national outrage. Veterans hit the streets demanding justice. Various parts of Tamil Nadu also witnessed protests by the BJP. The Saffron Party slammed the radio silence of the Chief Minister.
Whenever a DMK person is involved in any crime, they do everything possible to hide it. That too, when a public representative of DMK is involved, they do everything possible to make sure that crime is not reported. In this case, a sitting DMK councillor, they did everything possible in their hand to hush up the matter. So CM somehow, I think he has gone into a shell. He is not even aware what is happening outside his office. And a very wrong feedback is given to him. Somehow he thinks having 2-3 media channels in Tamil Nadu in his party's control, whatever he says, people will see that, with the extent of social media and the national media that is aggressive like you. Now, when all the news stories are coming out, DMK is not sure how to react. Whenever we see anything that concerns our nation that happens in the right way, some issues we spoke about in the right spirit, this rights lobby, they go down to a deep slumber. They are the Kumbhakarnas. This Kumbhakarnas wakes up only when their ecosystem is threatened. Only when their so-called carefully orchestrated, built JNU type ecosystem gets threatened, then they come to Jantar Mantar marching in the street. But in this case, the so-called rights lobby should feel ashamed of themselves.
The crestfallen family of Prabhu is yet to come to terms with what has happened, but that hasn't stopped them from revealing the truth. In fact, now they have made a sensational charge. Prabhu's wife said that the cop who assisted the DMK councillor on the night of February 8 even stomped on the deceased soldier. She asked, why is the Chief Minister still silent, and was there an effort to try and cover up the murder?
ஸ்டேஷனில் சேர்ந்து பிளான் பண்ணி ஈவினிங் ஒரு 5-5:30 இருக்கும். அந்த டைமில் எங்கள் மாமனார் வந்து ஊர் கவுண்டர் ஒரு சித்தப்பா ஒருத்தருக்காரு, அவர்கிட்ட சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க காலையில் இந்த மாதிரி ஆச்சு அப்படின்ட்டு. அந்த கவுன்சிலர் இந்த வழியில் போயிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. எங்கள் மாமனார் பேர் சொல்லி, டே மாதையா உன்னால் என்ன பண்ணிட முடியும், என்ன பிடுங்க முடியும், நான் கவுன்சிலர், என் நேயத்தை அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு சொல்லி திரும்பாத அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு மாதிரி இன்சல்ட் பண்ணி பேசிட்டாங்க. அந்த கவுன்சிலர் வந்து எங்கள் மாமனார் கத்தி எடுத்து வெட்டி அந்த இடத்துல ரத்தம் வந்துடுச்சு. எண்ணிட்டு அவங்க தடுக்கிறதுக்கு போனவங்கள எங்கள் வீட்டுக்காரையும் எங்கள் வீட்டுக்காரரை இரும்பு ஆடு, கத்தி, மரத்துண்டு 3 எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்து எங்கள் வீட்டுக்கார தலைமையில் பின்னாடி அடித்து சாகடிச்சிட்டாங்க. இங்கேவே உயிர் போயிட்டுருக்குது, எங்களுக்கு தெரியல. நாங்கள் காவேரிப்பட்டினம் ஜிஹெச்சுக்கு போனோம். இங்கே அவர் விழுந்தது கூட தெரியாமல் கவுன்சிலர் அவங்க பையன் போலீஸில் இருக்காருல்ல குரு சூரியமூர்த்தி, அவங்க காலில் போட்டு மெரிச்சாங்க கழுத்தில்.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Analyst Rama Subramaniam, also a political analyst, as a Shriram political analyst. But my first question is to Khushbu, leader of the BJP. The charge against you is that this can happen in any family. This was not politically motivated. The DMK is saying it didn't have to do with party affiliations. In fact, both the men were related. You are trying to create a political controversy. Khushbu.
Quite surprising that they come up with these kind of statements. And when you hear if this is something which is not, I think the DMK should not be even commented about it. Why Mr. T.K.'s Ilangovan has commented about it today? Why are they trying to hush up the issue? This is the Lance Naik Prabhu was attacked a week back. We lost him yesterday. What were they doing for a week? Why is that they did not look into it? Why was the DMK councillor even allowed, though the FIR was filed, and they said it was attempt to murder? If this is what the police has to say, Tamil Nadu police has to say that it was attempt to murder which was put in the FIR. Why was the DMK councillor allowed to travel all the way to Kolar to a different state altogether? Why wasn't an eye kept on him that he cannot escape Tamil Nadu? Why all the basic facilities were given to him? Why is that when Mr. Chief Minister can comment on every little thing and tweet every 1 hour, why is that not a single tweet on this in the last 1 week? Why is it Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is happily holidaying in Gulmarg, skiing in Gulmarg, why there is no tweet about this soldier? Because they don't matter? Because they are not the vote bank for them? Because it doesn't matter to them whether it's a soldier, let him go. It doesn't. I'm happily holidaying, I'm happily going around, I'm happy with the work I'm doing. It doesn't matter to me. When it comes to election, this is when we are going to talk about, this is when we are going to speak about. And if it was an opposition party, if it was BJP today, or if it was any other opposition party, I'm sure Rahul Gandhi would have sat at Jantar Mantar with one candle in his hand, or sitting there with his t-shirt and beard and say that, see, I've quit everything and I'm sitting here fighting for the rights of the people of my country.
Okay, answer this, Mr. Subramaniam. Let's start at the beginning. 1 week. 1 week, nothing done to this man. Why? Because he has special privileges, he's a councillor?
To whom you are asking, please?
To you, Mr. Ram Subramaniam.
Okay. See, this is first of all, the FIR was registered as an attempt to murder because it happened on 8th and the person died on 14th. Therefore, during this period, it cannot be treated as a murder. Therefore, the FIR has been properly made. That's what I want to say.
He was allowed to travel out. He was allowed to travel out, leave alone taking action.
Yeah, but listen, during this period, 6 people have been arrested. And of course, the councillor has not been arrested.
Why?
6 people have been arrested, including 2 policemen who are related.
That is fine, but that is why we are asking. If 6 people could be arrested, why was the councillor given special privilege? Because he's DMK.
See, he would have hidden himself somewhere, and subsequently he has also been arrested. 9 people have been arrested, including 2 policemen. All the people,
Khushbu, you should
the
be
person
thankful.
who murdered,
9 people have been
all the
arrested
people who connected even in the case, both the person murdered
so
and
I'll
the
give
person
you,
who
I'll give
murdered.
you possible
both
reason. Wait a second, before Khushbu comes in, I'll give you possible reason. The wife of Raghu is saying at the time that they were killing her husband, they said, I am a DMK councillor, you can't do anything to me. You remember this. Khushbu.
Exactly, these were his words. And Mr. Ramaswamy, you know Tamil very well. It was a pre-attempted murder. But why is it the DMK councillor allowed to travel? Why is it the other 3 people who were arrested or 6 people who were arrested? Why was the DMK councillor allowed to go? His son is a constable himself. Why was the DMK constable's son was allowed to leave? Why was he not arrested despite being a constable? And what does it mean when the DMK councillor himself says that I belong to the ruling party? Unna panna mudiyadu, unna pudunga mudiyadu. What does it mean? आप कुछ नहीं उखाड़ सकते हो मेरा, because you are part of DMK, you are part of the ruling government. And why there is not a single tweet by any of the DMK members? Why the chief minister is silent over this? Why nobody, the ally party of DMK has commented on this?
Go on,
Life
Mr.
of a soldier
Subramaniam.
does not matter to them?
You are talking from your point of view. All these statements have been made before you. How can you verify the statement?
Are you saying the wife is lying?
How can you verify the statement?
It's said by the wife. Are you saying that the wife is lying? Are you calling her a liar, sir?
See, first of all, the SP, I think, madam, you would have heard the statement given by the SP interview.
Will you believe the victim's wife or will you believe the SP? If the SP is accused of negligence, what do you expect him to say? Yes, we were negligent.
Clear, it started as a petty quarrel. And later on it became a fight between these 2 people. I don't justify even for a minute.
Sir, petty quarrel, Khushbu, it may have started as petty quarrel, it was then a murder. The man was already suffering from grievous injuries and then he passed away. There is still no reason.
It was a planned murder.
Khushbu.
And let me ask you, sir, this is on other debate also, let me ask you, why was he killed? Why was he attacked? Because he went in support of his sister-in-law who was washing her clothes in the village pond, and she was stopped from doing that. She was harassed and she was asked to stop using the pond. And that is when Lance Naik Prabhu came over and he's supported his sister-in-law. What do you have to say for that, sir? You have a Jawan, a soldier who is there, right there at the border in different various conditions and supporting you, making sure that you and I sleep well.
See,
I
it was
sleep
not a
comfortably in our homes,
that it is a premeditated
they give up their
murder.
lives
It is
for
not
us.
so. It started as a quarrel and ended in a murder.
Mr. Pullarao, you can keep trying and splitting hair about, oh, this wasn't about party politics, this didn't have to do with any politics of the DMK, BJP. The larger question, and this is where I'll bring in SS Sriram also, is about the culture of impunity. Because if you belong to the DMK, you could be a councillor, you could be a leader, you could be a panchayat head, but you know that you will not be touched. And this is not the first time. You have got a VCK cadre in November 2022 threatened a CRPF Jawan. Why? Because the Jawan condemned Tirumavalavan's separatist remarks. Then you had another Jawan who got threats for fleeing the VCK. Then again you had 2 DMK members who were arrested for sexually harassing a woman cop who were there in your party program. It's this culture of impunity which people are questioning. And when the CM stays quiet, their men also think it's okay. It is okay until there is outrage. Mr. Pullarao.
Absolutely, what you say, you must not forget. We have 80 million people. There are 80 million people in Tamil Nadu. It's very unfortunate what has happened. It's totally condemnable. No right-thinking person of any support, of any party, anywhere, to support this. What I suggest is that we give time to the Tamil Nadu police to get on top of this event, see that such events don't happen.
I'm sorry, sir, when you say there are 80 million people, are you saying that in millions and millions of people, 1 or 2 lives are dispensable? What do you mean by saying that there are millions of people in Tamil Nadu? What is that supposed to mean?
An event were to occur in Uttar Pradesh, I would also condemn it, but I won't condemn all the people on the government. We have to rectify it and move on.
But that is exactly what happens. That is exactly what happens, sir, that whenever there is any crime in Uttar Pradesh, the chief minister's resignation is sought. Here we are not even saying that somebody should resign. All we are saying is, can there be a word of condemnation?
This incident will have far-ranging consequences. Nobody can deny that. How it gets directed, what happens, it is a shock. And the Tamil Nadu police is a professional body, one of the best police forces in the country. We have to give them some time to sort it out. And
Mr.
no
Shira,
right-taking,
it's
no
a professional
right-taking
police.
person.
Don't jump into muddy waters.
For me, Padmaja?
Yes, go on.
Padmaja, I mean, as a Tamilian, I'll have to put my head down with shame. I mean, that's the least that I should do or I could do. And the government's silence, especially the Chief Minister, is quite appalling. I mean, this is the same government which took exception to the governor when he refused to say that Tamil Nadu is a place for, where the law and order is peaceful and the best in the country. That is what the government expected the governor to speak, and the governor refused to do so. And today the governor is vindicated. See, this is exactly what is happening. In the last 4 days, about 9 murders in Tamil Nadu, and people still expect the governor to say that this Tamil Nadu is a place of heaven. Now, my only request to the Chief Minister is, when his grandson had a problem for immigration, when he had to go abroad, he rushed in half an hour to ensure that his grandson's passage was safe. But the same Chief Minister has not opened his mouth for people of Tamil Nadu, for having given him the chair of the Chief Minister. It doesn't bother to him to go and see, or at least to give him a word to say that things will be taken care. This is exactly the kind of politics that this DMK plays. And so is the Tamil media. The Tamil Nadu media will go for a rape case in UP. They will travel 1,000 kilometers from Tamil Nadu and cover it 24/7, saying Mr. Yogi Adityanath is a rowdy. Today, they are pin drop silence. They are such, I really don't know what even to say, that they are busy covering a local by-election and they are not bothered about this national soldier whom we all have to protect and be proud of is being
Mr.
slaughtered.
Subramaniam, terrible that, people's silence or people being vocal depends on how your politics is.
Madam, one thing I just would like to make a mention. See, the murder of a soldier has to be condemned to the fullest extent.
But why hasn't the CM condemned it then? Why hasn't the CM condemned it? You're saying it must be condemned, he hasn't.
Yes, I have been condemning, ma.
You are not the CM.
Please listen to me. I also mentioned that I conveyed my condolences to the bereaved family.
Sir, it doesn't matter what you say. You are not the Chief Minister. The Chief Minister is responsible for the state and he is quiet.
See, I just would like to tell you, I don't know whether you are aware of it, in the month of October 2022, a soldier was murdered in Arani. The reason he was murdered by his wife and her paramour. Was there any condemnation from the Chief Minister? So that is also a soldier.
What is this
That is also a soldier.
Sir?
That also
you
happened
are talking about condemnation. Today Mr. Elangovan said, and I quote, that every time there is some incident in Tamil Nadu, the CM can't visit. He hasn't spoken, he hasn't visited, and Mr. Elangovan is saying, oh, the CM can't be expected to go everywhere. Khushbu.
Let me tell you, Padmaja, CM was in Salem today, which is just 1 hour away from Krishnagiri, where we have lost a soldier. If CM wanted, he could have easily visited just 1 hour away from the place. Why did he do that? Why did he go and visit the parents? Why didn't he go reach out to the parents and the wife and the family and give them a condolence? Why couldn't he reach out and say that I stand with you? Why couldn't he reach out that my party member has done it? I'll make sure that my party councillor is expelled from the party. Why didn't anybody reach out to the family today in the Krishnagiri? None of the party members have visited. None of them have commented, and you have a DMK leader saying that it's a small thing that has happened. And it is appalling to see Mr. Ramasubbu saying that a soldier was killed in Arani by his wife and her paramour, and this is the same. So the paramour was not part of a political party. You don't expect, we didn't say that the Chief Minister has to comment on this. Here your party councillor has done it because you think being a DMK member, you can get away with murder. And that to a murder of a soldier, we should be hanging our heads in shame.
And it's not just the murder of one man, by the way. How much does it take for the family to be visited by the Chief Minister, who's 1 hour away, Mr. Pullarao? Because not only is Raghu dead, but his brother, who also is a serving Indian Army soldier, he is injured. At least visit him. Here are two men who serve the country.
Minister.
One is dead, one is injured. CM is 1 hour away. Why can't he visit?
You say no chief minister or home minister goes to such a spot in any part of the country. They have to wait till tempers cool. It's not a question of Mr. Stalin. It's a question of any other chief minister. Tempers have to cool. My good friend there would tell you, the DGP will say, don't go there. There will be a law and order problem. Yes, I agree with you. Everyone says it's a terrible incident. There's no excuse for it. There is no excuse. But CM going there will create a huge law and order problem.
Okay, fine. So CM going there will create law and order. Will CM speaking also create law and order?
That is his business, but he should have, definitely. We all feel, everyone feels that probably they are stunned into all of these things. They should condemn it, but he cannot visit the place like no other chief minister is advised to visit this place. No chief minister visits it.
This is laughable. I mean, a chief minister who keeps saying that this government is your government, a chief minister who keeps saying that, this is the best model state, a chief minister who keeps saying everything is in order, has not a single word to say, I'm sorry for what has happened and things will be taken care. I mean, this is appalling to come. We are not expecting the CM to even go, as you rightly said. But can't he say, this is what has happened, is not, and it should not have happened. This is where the difference is. And today he visited a councillor's mother who passed away in Chennai. He has the time to go and visit a condolence of his party women who had probably died. I'm not saying you should not do so, but here is the person who's saving the nation. He would have probably even voted this party. You didn't even bother to condemn it and say, sorry, come on, sir, this is quite... I have no words to say. The least I could. I'm flabbergasted to say the least.
At the very least, would you say, Mr. Ram Subramaniam, if not as a politician, as the chief minister, as a fellow Tamilian, Mr. Stalin should extend some words and maybe a healing touch to this family that's hurting? Or is politics more important?
I can tell you that it is for the CM to react to this. Because I am not a politician, I don't belong to any political party. So if the CM decides to offer his condolences, well and good. If he doesn't do it, it is for his own reason. I can't say anything beyond that. But at the same time, once again, I would like to reiterate that it started as a quarrel and it ended in a murder. And second point, when you are giving so much, we must respect the departed soul. At the same time, you must also respect the police. The SP has given a very good explanation in regard to this.
You decide to believe what the SP has said. However, there is a family which has an entirely different version of what happened, and they clearly are not satisfied with the action taken so far and with the silence that they see all around them, especially from the political dispensation. The chief minister can decide who he wants to answer to. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, Khushbu, for joining me. Well, hate speech has no space in civilized society. It's a settled principle. But is there a hypocrisy about what qualifies as hate speech and society's reaction to it currently in India? Even as the Supreme Court hears petitions against hate speeches made at Dharam Sansad in Haridwar and Delhi, rightly so, a group under the banner of Hindu Front for Justice has put in an intervention application. The application speaks of how Sartan se juda cries have been witnessed against the Hindu community in several parts of India, and some even resulted in violence. The application goes on to talk about how the Hindu faith is frequently mocked. The question then before the court and society and politicians today is, does this not constitute as hate speech as well? While any provocation is to be condemned, what about the cries for beheading? Why does it not invite the same kind of horror and condemnation? In fact, the application lists specific instances where not only have open calls for violence against the Hindu community been given, but also how they have resulted in murder like that of Umesh Kole and Kanhaiya Lal. Remember, a bounty was also put on Nupur Sharma's head, and at least 2 people were arrested, including one Pakistani who had been sent to kill Nupur Sharma. Further, the plea underlines how it is commonplace to make fun of Hindu customs and gods, and if commenting on one religion is called hate speech, then shouldn't the same standards be applied to all comments made on the Hindu faith as well? The question finally is, will the court be able to finish this hate speech hypocrisy, and isn't it time that everyone either demand parity, incomplete freedom of speech, or demand the equal right to nurse religious hurt?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, we have Vishnu Jain, a lawyer, as well as Advocate Varis Pathan, national spokesperson of the AIMIM. Vishnu Jain, I want to start by asking you, why did you feel the need for filing this intervention application?
See, the point is this, that in the entire hearing of the Supreme Court, it has been projected by certain groups and definitely the members of the Muslim community that there are instances of hatred and hate speeches and dharm sansad being conducted against them. So I also wanted to point out before the Supreme Court that this is not an isolated incident, and there are many instances where hate speech and all these incidents are taking against the members of Hindu community. For example, I want to ask a question today on your channel, whether this slogan "Gustakhe Rasool ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda" is a hate speech or not, or whether any action has been taken by those mobs which have come in huge numbers and have raised this, have chanted these slogans, and actual crime has also happened after chanting these slogans. The judgment of the Supreme Court has time and again has said that the first point and the first principle is that whether the speech is whether the speech made by an individual is inciting violence, and whether in furtherance of that speech actual incident has also happened or not. So I pointed out instances in my intervention application where these kind of speeches have been made, and apart from that there are various comedians who have made fun of Hindu god and goddesses.
Okay,
there are
we will
many
come to that in just a
political leaders who have
second.
made fun of Hindu
First
god
let's
and
start with your specific question to Varis Pathan. Sir, tan se juda is hate speech or not? Varis Pathan. Against the Dharm Sansad, there is multiple applications against hate speech against Muslims. There are multiple applications before the Supreme Court. But what about beheading calls? Varis Pathan.
Well, any call which calls for violence, which leads to violence, or which is hate, is totally condemnable, and I condemn all such kind of slogans, such as I also condemn Sartan Se Juda. Similar way, I also condemn the slogans made by during the Dharam Sansad people, wherein the call for Muslim genocides are given, देश के गद्दारों को गोली मारो डैश डैश डैश, और देश में रहना होगा तो ये कहना होगा. Any kind of slogan which leads to violence are condemnable. What is seen in the country is that almost every day in the name of Dharam Sansads call for Muslim genocide is being given. They are taught in Dharam Sansad to children that please leave books, pens, keep aside, pick up sword, kill the Muslims. No action against them. They take oath of the constitution, become the chief minister of state, but they say that this is a Hindu Rashtra,
Mr. Pathan,
which is
that
unconstitutional.
Is not true. Let me actually give you, no, that is not true. So let's remain true to facts. Let me give you instances, sir.
No condemnation against them.
Sir, leave condemnation. On the 15th of January, Yati Narasimhanand last year was arrested for making derogatory comments against a particular community during a 3-day Dharm Sansad. It was later in 7th of February that he was granted bail. Yati Narasimhanand arrested. After that, Jitendra Tyagi alias Wasim Rizvi was arrested on the 13th of January along with Yati Narasimhanand. After that, this man called Kali Charan was kept in jail for 3 months. He was arrested for making derogatory comments about Muslims in Raipur. Subsequently, there were people who were arrested for making derogatory comments about Muslims in 19th December 2021. So all of these arrests have been made. Do these people deserve to feel the heaviest hand of law? Absolutely yes. But to say that action against them hasn't been taken is misleading. Mr. Pathan.
Well, you are being partial, Padmaja. You have just given the names of Kali Charan, Narasimhanand. There are several Muslims who made statements which were hate. They were arrested. They have been sent to jail. So law is equal to all.
Sir, I will give you an example. I will give you an example where in Ajmer on the 10th of July, an entire mob came. Entire mob came, sir. 3 people among the mob were picked up. 3.
Okay. A latest example I will give you, whether Padmaja, will you agree with me, whether the nation agrees with me, I will leave it to them. Just recently, the Karnataka BJP leader made a statement that jo Tipu ka naam lega, usko khaded diya jayega, usko ye kar diya jayega. Does this not amount for call of direct hate? Is it not a hate speech?
Actually, what he has said, you're talking about CN Ashwath Narayan. He said कि टीपू की तरह इन लोगों को भी खदेड़ दिया जाना चाहिए, खत्म कर दिया जाना चाहिए. He apologized for it, and despite that, you should go and file a complaint. File a complaint, sir, and the law should deal with it. But that being said, my counter to you is...
File a complaint. What will the government do then? Yes. What will the government do if I go and file a complaint every day, every now and then? What will the government do? It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that this kind of statements are not made.
Okay, Vishnu Jain, answer this. Waris Pathan is saying that he thinks Sartan se juda is hate speech. But what about BJP leaders who are making such comments? The odd Yati Narasimhanand gets picked up. What about leaders who are in government in power? Their hate speech.
See Padmaja, I am an advocate practicing in the Supreme Court, and definitely I believe in the Constitution and the rule of law. So therefore, I am not going to make any statement here, or I am not going to segregate any individual because of his speech. If there is a principle on which I am arguing before the Supreme Court and I am debating before you, the principle is very fixed and very settled, that there has to be no hate speech against any member of any community by anyone, whether it be a Hindu, whether it be a Muslim. So the point is that when we are debating this issue, the main core of this issue is that why everyone is singling out those instances where hate speech and dharm sansas are being carried out by a particular group. Please, I am only requesting today before your channel and before you and before everyone that please make out a principle and take action against everyone who has raised hate speech. Do not single out members of any particular community. In my intervention application, if you will see and carefully examine, I have given instances of hate speech being raised by members of Hindu community, by Christian community, by Muslim community, which have been singled out. So as a citizen, as a lawyer, it's my duty to point out before the Supreme Court.
And Waris Pathan, you sitting on TV and are saying I condemn Sartan se juda as hate speech. Answer me this, that on the 12th of June 2022, your member of parliament Imtiaz Jalil asked for the public hanging of Nupur Sharma. Is that not hate speech, sir? If you're saying that Ashwath Narayan should face action, what action was taken against Imtiaz Jalil? He still is a member of parliament of your party. Is that not hate speech?
Okay. Firstly, I would like, Padmaja, that you extend to me the same courtesy which you extended to the other co-panelists by remaining silent and let me allow to make my point. And after I make, you can just counter me, question me, I am ready to answer. But in the heckling in the middle of making my statement will not lead the debate anywhere. And if you are interested in heckling, you can go on.
Go on, sir. It's about Imtiaz Jalil.
Point.
Yes.
The statement made by our party MP Imtiaz Jalil, our party president, has clarified the statement, and he said that his statement was on his own and the party did not accept that. Clear. But when Parvesh Verma, the member of parliament in Delhi, stands up on the stage and says that we have to boycott the Muslims, did Modi condemn or the BJP anybody condemn those statements? And again I will come to the Dharam Sansad thing. When they make a statement that okay, Muslims should be killed, genocide, no it. Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, she is the member of parliament from the BJP clan. She said, अपनी चाकू छुरी घर में तैयार करके रखो, तेज रखो, मुसलमानों के गर्दन काटने में काम में आएगा. She is a member of parliament. She terror accused. Any condemnation of word from the BJP were there? Did Modi condemn? Modi earlier said, मैं इसको दिल से माफ नहीं करूँगा. But when she makes such kind of statements, Padmaja, no word of condemnation, no action against them. And that is why this hate speech is taking place and increasing every day, every now and then.
Mr. Pathan, again let me ask you, is what Imtiaz Jalil said hate speech according to you? Yes or no?
Is what Parvesh Verma said was hate speech? Yes or no? Did the Karnataka BJP leader said, Tipu ka jo naam lega usko khader diya jayega? Was it hate speech? Yes or no?
Sir, I'm saying
Answer
yes,
to my
it is.
question.
Yes, it is. Across the board, yes. Anyone who makes provocative statements, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
The law should decide. Is Imtiaz Jalil's speech hate speech? Yes or no?
Yes. Any person, member of parliament or any dharam guru or any Maulana, whosoever gives the calls for violence, which is against the constitution, which is away from the constitution, he should be charged for hate speech. No leniency.
You said Maulana or Dharam Guru. I asked you a specific question, sir.
Against that, I am sure the half of the BJP clan will be in jail.
Sir, please file a complaint against them, put them in jail.
Why do you want to put words into my mouth? I am making my point.
No,
let them
Whosoever
please,
gives a hate speech, there is law of the land. And let me give you an answer. Let me give you an example. Our party's Akbar Owaisi made a statement which they said that it was a hate speech. He was taking treatment in London. He left the treatment, came to Hyderabad. He surrendered before the court. He was kept for 40 days in jail. After that, he came out on bail. He faced the trial for 12 years and today he is acquitted by the court of law after hearing both the sides. Show me how many BJP leaders have been sent to jail. Raja Singh is now out on bail. He is spewing venom every day in Mumbai. He came here in Maharashtra.
He was suspended, sir, as he rightly should be.
He went to jail. He came out on bail.
And he was given bail by court. Okay, let me again point out to you, sir. Let me again point out to you here. Here is the difference. Before Vishnu Jain responds, here is the difference, Mr. Pathan. You said anyone who says anything should be charged. But the difference in response, when Nupur Sharma spoke, the AIMIM said, and I quote, "We demand the immediate arrest of Nupur Sharma, her timely trial and conviction in accordance with law of the country." That's the stand on Nupur Sharma. What did Mr. Owaisi say on Imtiaz Jalil? And I quote, he said, "Our party has tweeted on Imtiaz Ali's statement. Since the beginning, I have said that Nupur Sharma should be arrested and punished as per the law. This is the party's official stand and everyone has to abide by it. This is the party's official stand." Not one word did he say that what Imtiaz Jalil has said is wrong. Not once did he say this is against the law of the country. Not once did he say that this is hate speech. That is the difference, sir. Vishnu Jain, respond.
You are showing your ignorance. I was with Asad Owaisi. I was with Asad.
See, Padmaja, you are absolutely right, and that's my entire plea, and that's my entire agitation, that you cannot single out and you cannot cry before the Supreme Court that see there are instances of hate speech against members of the Muslim community. But at the same time, if you are arguing on principle of law, then you are singling out those instances where the mobs are coming in huge numbers and raising these calls, and actual instances are taking place. I am saying, I have put it on affidavit, that there are so many hatreds against the members of the Hindu community. There has been a temple which has been destroyed in Varanasi. There are instances of repeated blasphemy and hate speeches against members of Hindu community. So many instances. I put it on affidavit, Padmaja. Let me quote also one instance. On 17th of, and it is not just members of Muslim community, members of Christian communities. Kindly see, Padmaja, what they are teaching. 17th of July 2021, a Christian pastor, George Punaiya, he says, "But we wear shoes." Why? Because the impurities of Bharat Mata should not contaminate us. The Tamil Nadu government has given us free footwear. This Bhumi Devi is dangerous. You catch sabis from it. We are now majority in Kanyakumari district. From 42%, we have crossed 62%. Soon we will be 70%. You cannot stop us. I am saying this as a warning to my Hindu brothers. Now I ask a question, Padmaja, whether this is hate speech or not. Another instance.
Okay, wait, Mr. Pathan. This is religion agnostic. Vishnu Jain's argument is it should be everyone's feelings taken into consideration. He is quoting not just the Muslim community, Hindu community. He is saying any community. He quoted the example of Pastor Ponaya.
That is what even I said. That is what even I say. That is what even I say. Whosoever gives a call which leads to violence or creates an anarchy or is a threat for genocide must be taken care of by the police and let the law of the land take place, and he should be punished as per the law. Where am I? I am agreeing with that. I am saying that But who condemns? We condemn. Did the BJP ever condemn? And you spoke about Nupur Sharma. What about the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court Judge? He said that because of Nupur Sharma, so many murders took place in our country because of our loud mouth. The country has shamed by so many foreign countries. Our dignitaries were called by the foreign countries. That was the observation made by the Honorable Supreme Court. And on that Supreme Court Judge, so many of the BJP leaders, they criticized. Could it not amount to contempt of court? Was any action taken against so many those people? Had Varis Pathan said anything against the court or the judge, I would have been charged for contempt by now. But no, they are having the privilege. They don't do anything against those.
Sir, you genuinely think that Umesh Kole or Kanhaiya Kumar,
this kind of incidents
is dead because of Nupur Sharma. All right. So Vishnu Jain, Varis Pathan is saying, I have no qualms in admitting that the same rule of law should be applied to everyone. Then what's the difference between you and him? None. You both agree.
Yes. See the difference. No, the difference is this, Padmaja. Still those sounds of Mr. Akbaruddin Owaisi reverberate in my mind, where he has made fun of Mata Sita, and I can't even quote it before your channel. That sound of Varis Pathan still reverberates in my mind, where he said 15 crore bhari padenge. That sound still reverberates, where his leaders have said कि 15 मिनट के लिए पुलिस हटा दो, हम देख लेंगे इंशाल्लाह कौन किस पे भारी होगा. अरे forget about arresting, forget about being acquitted. I am saying that your party is the main genesis. They are the main persons who have raised these instances of hate speech in India. And today you are taking a neutral stand. That's very good that you have changed over a period of time. But what about the fun which you have made about my God and goddesses? I can't even repeat those sentences here, Padmaja. About what his leaders have said against Mata Sita. Now you can take shelter. I am saying, Padmaja, something that you can take shelter. You can take shelter against the acquittal of the court. But definitely, one day you will be convicted.
Action against them.
Varis
and I am also full and sure that you will take action against the Karnataka BJP leader who gave a strict call for killing of people who overtake the name of Tipu. I am sure that you will take the name of the Karnataka leader in Supreme Court and you will see to it. And I want an assurance from you that you will see to it that man is punished. And I want them to be punished. Kindly give a word. Kindly give a word on the national television, Mr. Vishnu, that you will ensure that he is punished.
Whoever is raising hatred in this country.
Yes. Whosoever.
No, you ensure first.
Yes, whosoever.
That you will take action against your leader. And you will take action against yourself.
टिप्पू का जो नाम लेगा उसको खदेड़ दिया जाएगा.
इसका क्या मतलब होता है, पद्मजा? आप मेरे को कोट करके बताइए कि विष्णु जैन ने कभी भी कोई हेट स्पीच दी हो. पर मैं तो वारिस भाई.
Every day in the name of Dharan Samsad, what steps have you taken? चलिए ना, अरे चलिए, हमारे पे तो केस होएगा, देखेंगे, जेल जाएंगे, फांसी पे चढ़ जाएंगे, वांदा नहीं है. अरे उनको भी तो चढ़ाओ ना फांसी पे.
हम तो कह रहे आइए, हम तो कह रहे आप भी आइए. आप भी आइए.
You are signaling out only one particular community.
आप भी तो लॉयर हैं. आप भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आइए. इंस्टेंसेस आइए. I will. No. I'm not singling out. Singling out has been started by AIMM.
सब चीज आप और मैं करेंगे तो सरकार क्या करेगी?
Padmaja,
if everything you and me will do, what will the BJP government do?
Okay. This is a great idea. If really you mean what you say, Varis Pathan, you should become party to this application as well. And say yes, the principle of hate speech should be applied even-handedly. But here is a concern that I have, Vishnu Jain, as a citizen. You know, the whole idea of this hate speech law, how then are we any different from countries which have the blasphemy law? Aren't we going down a very dangerous path where people will constantly feel hurt about one thing or the other, and others will be put in jail for hate speech because it's very subjective?
See, Padmaja, the point your question, I am so grateful that you asked me that question. The point is very straight. Your right to swing your arm ends where my nose begins. This is a very settled principle of law. I am not saying that there has to be no free speech in this country. Definitely we are governed by a rule of law country, and there are fundamental rights under our constitution flowing from Article 19, where freedom of speech and expression is the foremost right. But definitely those rights have reasonable restrictions. So when we are talking about rights going with reasonable restrictions, we have a theory of check and balances. You cannot say that under the garb of free speech, you will say anything about God and goddesses, you will say anything about like multiple calls of Sar Tan se juda. So the question is that there has to be a line, and when the matter is pending in the Supreme Court and this issue is being debated upon as to what is hate speech. So we are also trying to bring about instances to prove that these are the instances of hate speech. Definitely there are penal consequences under the IPC. Section 153A is there, 295A is there. So far channels are concerned, there are post publication remedies. But despite that, the Supreme Court is trying to ponder about a proposition of law where these kind of speeches can be curtailed. And there is an example of Maharashtra Dharm Sansad where the Supreme Court passed an order saying that all these issues have to be videographed and it has to be stopped. So I am saying that it has to happen across the board.
All right. So either if we are demanding that there should be no law on hate speech, then that should be applied in an even-handed fashion. Or if there is such a restriction that is passed on the issue of hate speech, that also should ensure parity. That is what anyone deserves in a democracy. And as a parting reminder, let's also tell you that while Raja Singh, who Mr. Pathan spoke about, was arrested and rightly so in Hyderabad, at the same time, there were 90 protesters in Hyderabad who were released after the intervention of Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi when they had taken to the streets in the aftermath of the Prophet Rao and chanted Sar Tan se juda. That also is a fact. Parity is what people are asking for. Thank you very much for this nuanced debate. Mr. Varis Pathan and Vishnu Jain will keep a close eye on what happens in court. Thanks so much.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who is founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, if you can explain किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है and कब इसका officially launch आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
Summer में शुरू हो जाएंगी. So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का हूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है.
Yep.
इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है. सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया है एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ वो?
The News Hour at 10.
Voting for the 60 assembly seats ends in the state of Tripura. Voter turnout in the Tripura assembly poll stands at 80.11%. Chief Minister Manik Saha expects a comfortable second term with full majority in the state. In an exclusive conversation with Times Now, Tripura Chief Pradyot Debarman said his party will defeat BJP and come to power in the state. Violence breaks out during the elections as goons attack CPI supporters in Tripura's Kalachera.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे। अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स। ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा। Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. गाइज, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है। जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है। जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा। इनसाइड द बॉक्स यू गेट दिस लिटिल पेपर बॉक्स एज वेल, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है। लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको। यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है। यहाँ पर फोन पे को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल, विच इज वेरी बेसिक। अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस, जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं। उफ, वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी येलो कलर, जस्ट लाइक द
You're watching the News Hour at 10.
IT searches concluded in the BBC offices after over 40 hours in Mumbai. Sources say agencies are looking to unearth a possible tax evasion of 2,500 crore rupees. A Delhi court has rejected the bail plea of Vijay Nair, Abhishek Boinpalli, Samir Mahendru and two others in the liquor gate probe. In a major setback to the Aam Aadmi Party, BJP's Kausar Jahan has been elected as the new chairman for the Delhi Hajj Committee. PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti has asked the centre to reduce the number of troops in Jammu and Kashmir and recover the land they have encroached. Team India cricketer Prithvi Shaw was allegedly attacked for refusing a selfie. Cops have registered an FIR and the fans' lawyers say that Shaw was the one who attacked them first.
$110 mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL, यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए, और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी, और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट, वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता है, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ, उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आरामदेह। आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है, काफी ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफी ब्रॉड है, तो वहां पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी, क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा अपराइट बैठूं तो यहाँ पर ये मेरा सर टच कर रहा है, बट अगेन आई एम नॉट एवरेज इंडियन हाइट, थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा लंबा हूँ। तो ओवरऑल स्पेशियस, कंफर्टेबल मुझे लग रही है दो लोगों के लिए खास तौर पर। और वैसे 3 लोगों की भी जगह है, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है बैकरेस्ट, वहाँ पर आपको आर्मरेस्ट मिलेगा। यहाँ पर फ़ोन वगैरह या टैबलेट वगैरह रखने की जगह है, और प्लस 2 कप होल्डर्स आपको यहाँ पर, या बॉटल होल्डर्स आई गेस कप होल्डर्स, वो आपको देखने को यहाँ मिल रहे हैं। ओवरऑल जो फील है वो काफ़ी सॉलिड है, जो फिनिश है काफ़ी प्रीमियम है, जो क्वालिटी है वो काफ़ी प्रीमियम आपको देखने को मिल रहा है। और यहाँ पर एसी वेंट अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ 3 जोन क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल आप समझ सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर अलग से आप अपने पैसेंजर सीट के लिए, रेयर सीट के लिए अलग टेम्परेचर जोन आप यहाँ सेट कर सकते हैं, वो कंट्रोल दिया गया है। साथ में 2 सी टाइप के पोर्ट्स भी आपको देखने को मिल रहे हैं। सो फीचर के हिसाब से, आराम के हिसाब से, स्पेस के हिसाब से सेकेंड रो is very practical, and I think this is the USP of this car. Gandhi Samar reporting from the first row of or driver seat of BMW 3GL. और यहाँ सबसे पहली चीज जिसके बारे में बात करना चाहूंगा वो है ये पूरा स्क्रीन का सेटअप। जो शेप है उसका हल्का सा कर्व्ड आपको ड्राइवर साइड की तरफ, या ड्राइवर सेंट्रिक थोड़ा सा ये ज्यादा लग रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, बट या यू फील कि हाँ आपकी तरफ ये मुड़ा हुआ है। सो ये कर्व इसकी बनावट है। यहाँ पर एक स्क्रीन है जो पूरी तरह से डिजिटल इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन आपको नजर आएगा। दिस इज 12.3 इंचेस। और यहाँ पर दूसरा जो स्क्रीन है 14.9 इंच का, यहाँ मोर और लेस इस सेंटर पैनल में जो बटन्स आपको देखने को मिल रहे थे, आमतौर पर जो दिखते हैं वो सारे बटन्स यहाँ से लगभग नदारद हो गए, जो बहुत ही बेसिक फंक्शंस हैं, चाहे वो एसी के स्पीड का हो या फिर वॉल्यूम कंट्रोल का हो, ट्रैक को आगे पीछे करने का हो, वो आप यहाँ बटन देख रहे हैं। अदरवाइज मोरलेस सारे कंट्रोल्स मुझे यहाँ नजर आ रहे हैं। थोड़ा वक्त लगेगा इसके टच स्क्रीन के बिहेवियर को आपको समझने में या आदत लगाने में। यहाँ पर आपको वायरलेस एप्पल कारप्ले, एंड्रॉयड ऑटो भी मिल रहा है, प्लस ये सारे ऐप्स यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, इससे आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। एक और चीज़ जो इसमें एडिशन हुई है वो आपको बताएं। जैसे एक बार आपको याद होगा, बहुत पहले मैंने BMW में जब पहली बार वॉइस कमांड्स आए थे, तब मैंने जब कमांड दिया था, हे BMW प्लीज ओपन ड्राइवर साइड विंडो, तो ये विंडो अब तो खोल रही है, लेकिन पिछली बार इसने मना कर दिया था कि भाई इतना काम तो तुम खुद कर लो, बाकी सारे कमांड्स तो मैं मान ही रही हूँ। लेकिन अब वो भी आपको इसमें देखने को मिल रहा है। फिलहाल ऑडियो के लिए, बेहतर ऑडियो के लिए मैं इसे करता हूँ बंद। और अब बटन्स की बात पर वापस आता हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत सारे बटन्स आपको यहाँ देखने को मिल रहा है। आई ड्राइव फंक्शन तो है ही, जो ड्राइव सेलेक्ट वाला जो टॉगल स्विच है वो भी आपको थोड़ा सा अलग नया डिज़ाइन में देखने को मिलेगा, जहाँ पर थोड़ा मिनिमलिस्टिक है, बट यूज़ के हिसाब से एर्गोनॉमिक मुझे ज़्यादा लग रहा है। आप आराम से ड्राइव के वक्त बिना नज़र हटाए मोर और लेस इंफोटेनमेंट स्क्रीन के बहुत सारे फंक्शंस को और ड्राइव के फंक्शंस को आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पर मीडिया, टेलीफोन, होम, मैप, नेविगेशन, ये सभी कंट्रोल आप इस शफल इस डायल से कर सकते हैं। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पार्किंग ब्रेक है ऑटो होल्ड के साथ। इसके अलावा अलग अलग ड्राइविंग मोड है, स्पोर्ट, कंफर्ट, इको। इंजन स्टार्ट स्टॉप बटन आपको यहीं पर दिया गया है। पार्क असिस्ट और ट्रैक्शन कंट्रोल ऑफ भी आपको यहीं मिला हुआ है। तो यहाँ पर RNDS दिया गया है, यानी रिवर्स न्यूट्रल ड्राइव या फिर स्पोर्ट वाला मोड। इसके अलावा पार्किंग के लिए